Welcome to the Atlaran Adventuring Company. This is the world of Atlaran. We've entered the early stages of an industrial age that has begun taming the wilderness across the world. And while progress brings solutions, it also brings new and more complex problems, and tends to pick at old wounds left unhealed. The first trains have begun to run in the north along with airships, but the long-ignored issues of stolen land, pollution, and deforestation have begun to fester, to name only a few. But our focus and our second story is on one small group of new allies and their own struggles and battles against a changing, dangerous world. Our particular window in time falls 500 years after the calamity and the great shattering of Harris. With any luck, this story will resonate across time like the last.
Christmas Fortunemær, a dodgy charlatan formerly of the Jade Street Crows gang, but he doesn't remember that part of his life. With a 5-year memory gap and having only recently rediscovered friends he'd forgotten, Christmas is suddenly on a dangerous path left by his former self. Thankfully, he's a master of charm, theatrics, and disguise, and when those don't work, he has found family that, whether he remembers them or not, will fight to the last beside him.
Magda Wrenly, a professional mercenary and member of the revered Taiylor clan of monster hunters. With a wasting curse weighing on her shoulders that can't be dismissed by normal means, Magda has been left to search for an unconventional cure. Now, she's found herself with a group of allies she didn't ask for, and friends whose love she doesn't understand. Years of dealing with regret, ill health, and distrust have left her slow to ask for help.
Noah Borago, a cheery alchemist from Reese's Ridge and son of a well-known engineer and apothecarist. Noah's upbringing was colorful, to say the least, leading to his expertise in potions and mechanical contraptions. He's out in the world to find new ideas and support the family business. But now, he's stumbled into a pile of issues that most rich kids from the suburbs just don't deal with. But in his own words, usually with a gun and a grin leveled at the current problem, "Don't you worry there, guy, everything's gonna be hunky-dory."
Foostrak Wildborn, a wandering warrior from the Nathar clan and student of the runic battle traditions of the Giantkin. Raised by folk who believed in the survival of the fittest, but refused to adapt to the modern world, Foostrak left the clan to seek outside knowledge to hopefully bring home one day. He is set on helping his people survive, even if they're stuck in their old ways and don't realize how badly they need his insight.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. I take it we're live.
Yeah, we've been live for... Yeah.
Sorry, I had to send everybody today's hype music. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Atlaran Adventuring Company. I'm your Dungeon Master, Taiylor Wallace, and joining me I have Astrid Knight.
Hello! You can find me at all the places that Astrid K writes, or my website, astridknight.com. I also wrote a book. It's called Perception Check. Hey, if you're here, you probably like D&D. Guess what? This is all about that. Well, a non-copyrighted version of D&D. It's got disco music. It's got sadness. It's got shady bitches. It's got lots of stuff. So check it out wherever your fine books are sold. Goodbye.
I don't know why, but all I could think of was like a horrible German/Dutch accent of just being or Russian accent, just being like, "Hello, I am the Astrid Knight." I also have Blake Wolfe.
Oh, hi, everybody. That's me. I'm Blake Wolfe.
I am.
It's a me.
It's a me.
That is so cool, you guys.
I also write books. Recently I wrote this one. I finally got the copy. I wrote this one about werewolf penises.
Yay!
So if you're looking for some good werewolf dick, there you go. That's what I've got for you. But to keep it family friendly, they for sure never fuck.
No.
For sure.
Only kiss.
Yeah.
On the cheek.
Only, yeah, on the cheek. And they maybe hold hands. It gets a little racy at that part.
Uh-huh.
How
You have to wait till marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good God. I also have Zach Gale.
I'm not going to ask the question about the werewolf book that I want to ask
Don't.
on stream.
Wait,
Don't.
I know what you're going to ask, and the answer is
Don't.
no. They're human
That's
the entire
for the
time.
Sequel.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. You did know the question I was going to
Yes,
ask.
I did. There's no bestiality.
But
mean-
do they sniff each other's butts?
I forgot to add that in. There is a tongue involved with a butt, so does that count?
Stop! No.
Oh my god. You guys know nothing
TOS.
about werewolf porn. I was going to ask about Naughty.
Taste is just 40%
No.
smell.
No, we're away from Zach Gale. Talk about your fucking book.
I have a book too that I'm going to put in the actual camera because Koop told me I keep not putting it in the camera. It's called Some Empty Houses Might Really Be Haunted. It's full of things that can only be found in your nightmares.
Including werewolf sex.
Yes, and werewolves.
We have a type, you guys.
Yep.
This is who we
Except
are
when
now.
someone gets eaten in that story, we mean it.
Both ways.
Oh my god.
We also have fuck off.
Start
We
with
also
the
have our long-suffering stream master, Zach Koop.
You really do look like you're suffering right now.
Aren't we all?
I think
Oh,
that's
we're
just the way
glitching
Koop looks.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is, like, I will try to... Hi, I'm here. If you want to see me bitch about stuff, it's on Twitter, and my Twitter's over there. It's funny because I always will, like, send private messages to people about stream things. Like, I told Harris privately, I was like, hey, you should just put your book in front of you instead of off to the side, because the aspect ratio in the stream is different than on the Zoom meeting, and I can tell you're looking at the Zoom meeting. And I always try to message people and tell them this stuff so that they don't, like, address it on the stream. Like, well, Koop told me that I needed to do this, like when I told Ash, hey, put your book here instead. And Ash was like, what are you saying? Like, so I'm so happy I told you that in confidence.
I love that
Zach.
impression of me.
And then you were like, well,
It's
he
accurate.
told me to, so now I'm going to do it. Anyway.
Literally, he told me that, and I forgot. I completely blanked that part out.
I'm just going to start calling you people out midstream, because there's no point in trying to be subtle.
Yeah. I mean,
Anyway,
honestly.
speaking of not being subtle, Taiylor, tell us about your shit.
Excuse me? I am the subtlest motherfucker here. I think I'm actually the least subtle.
No, it's Harris.
I love that I checked for Ben's reaction to see if it was true. Hello, everybody.
This face does not tell the truth.
I saw the eyebrows. My name is Taiylor Wallace, Dungeon Master and/or editor at one point or another.
Highway.
I'm almost there. Fuck off. You always do this.
Are we still
It
doing
was
that
not
one?
me. It was Harris who originated that. Thank you.
I did not do that this time. Thank
This
Oh
you.
my
time.
god.
Anyway, you can find me on Twitter when I care to be there at Taiylor Wallace. Make sure you spell it with an IY in the Taylor. You'll
Alright.
never find me. Shut up. All of our links are in our link tree on screen or in the descriptions wherever you're watching. And if you like our stream and want to support us, check out the Redbubble link in particular. There's some cool shit on there, especially if you like the Boragos.
Why?
All right, cut it.
We're done.
I'm done. We're not talking to Morgan. We're not talking to Christine.
Weirdest
Campaign
stream
3
ever.
starts next week. We'll see you there.
Yeah, you all better be fucking ready.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Yeah. Anyway, that kind of, anyway. So, last time, in an episode entitled What We Fight For,
Woo-woo.
Sorry.
I'm already pissed off at you
I have
guys.
zero filter today.
It's totally okay. Honestly.
Oh, can I?
like,
Sorry, before you get too
Yes.
far, I just need to personally apologize to Koop, because third werewolf sex book is there's a character named Cooper, and they keep calling him Koop, and it's really hard not to imagine you as that character. So I'm so sorry what I'm doing to you.
Look, Koop did say that he's going to be taking the time to read all of our books.
Yeah.
But
So he's going to
also,
read it at some point.
but also, you made him a carpenter?
Oh no, yeah. So
You made a guy named Cooper a carpenter.
yes, he's a carpenter. I didn't know what I was doing.
Hey, an interstellar Cooper is an astronaut, okay? It can be whatever you want it to be.
I don't even know what carpenters do. I have to Google it constantly. I'm like, yes, he screwed those two pieces of wood together.
They make
It's called
furniture.
joining. God damn it. No, for anybody who doesn't get the joke I'm going for, a Cooper makes barrels. They're a type of carpenter.
Mhm.
So having a Cooper that's a carpenter is almost as good as having a pie maker whose last name is Cobbler.
I
But
legitimately
is Cooper
thought
a good hula hooper?
I legitimately
I should hope
thought
so.
that Coopers made chicken coops for people.
I think I figured out how to do
Oh my
jump
God.
cuts, but only on my own face.
Anyway, last time,
Mhm.
episode
Oh.
55, What We Fight For.
You did it.
What?
Coop got closer.
Yeah, I wasn't joking. I legitimately figured out how to do jump cuts, but only on my own face. Anyway, we can continue now.
Sorry,
Are you
last
sure?
time. Wagon
Oh,
Ball
there
Z.
he goes. There he is. Okay.
It's not a perfect science.
Last time was kind of split into 4 different things for each of you, which happens occasionally, even though I hate splitting the party, but it worked for this instance. Foostrak had a chance to talk to Ellen and also learned that Ryzen of Baumgarten was killed. I figured someone was gonna. Noah decided to go to the Gear Forge, the hearth of Nomira himself, and made a couple fun little thingies, including a tuning fork to hopefully take you to Stjernagard, and what I have called a transmutation battery, which is liquid residuum condensed inside of a capsule. Christmas and Sala visited the Bandencred Ranch, and Christmas revealed for the first time to his parents that he is indeed alive, since he disappeared 10, 11 years ago? Something like that. Sala and Magda visited Hjolmanir with Walter's help, going to see Hector, Harren, her 2 partners, Kai and Wei-Yun. You got to meet Harren for the first time. In your downtime, General Joachim Hendrik of the Glacier Watch managed to retake most of Awaz, and your work against Serena caused the cult to retreat and the Hesperians to start to pull back westward and then eventually north. Their admiral, overseeing the war down in Frosthold, retreated all the way back to Caladros because he was scared you were going to come kill him.
Candy ass.
Yep. Unfortunately, Master Arcanist Pillai Singati, the Loxodon Arcanist of Nothies, was reported dead. Other Master Arcanists, seeing Awaz well defended, went off to Droval Easterland's aid in Thessaridge. Murdoch Kilkelly was caught in an ambush set up by Desiree Zafir, and Desiree has been reported killed and Murdoch wounded. Lastly, and where we ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, Christmas went to visit Morgan on his own, traveled to the Break and to Hollamordu, and found Morgan in her hall and asked her a question to renegotiate his contract, which is what we're in the middle of right now. So we're going to reopen on Rionel the 16th, 502 E1AC, Christmas being at Hollamordu still, while the rest of you are regathering in Sing Tower off in Awaz. So, Christmas. Restate your question for me, so everybody's caught up.
Where do you want me to start? Do you want me to start with, I would like to renegotiate the terms of my contract?
Yeah,
Or what
just
line?
for the-
Where
for
are
the
we in
sake-
the rehearsal right now?
For
Do you
the
wanna-
sake
Line.
of the stream
Yeah.
and catching people back up and reminding them what happened, what did Christmas ask?
A lifetime of service in exchange for the power to destroy Sav.
And when you ask this, the first thing you see cross Morgan's face is probably best described as pity. And she stands up from this simple chair that is kind of in the place of where throne should be. And she clasps her hands in front of her. Her eyes sort of cast over the floor where you can see the Triskel, or the, how's it pronounced? Is it Triskel? Triskel? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
The big swirly
Triskel.
fucking thing in the floor. A giant circle that covers the entire hall floor with the three-armed sort of curling designs. And she looks down at you after a solid 20 seconds of considering this request. And she says, "My dear boy, if that were only how it worked." Christmas, I have a question for you. Do you know how old the world of Atlaran is?
Very.
Do you know how old the Balin gods are?
At least as old as Atlaran is.
In truly billions of years, we have all died hundreds of times each. It's easy. Some of us are brushing thousands. But in those billions of years, do you know how many gods have been destroyed in this part of our universe?
Do I?
Make a history check.
Okay. I'm gonna guess it's not very many. Ah, my dice!
Ah!
My God.
Well, sorry for the folks at home. You guys are about to
You're
hear
muted,
a
Harris.
very loud dice roll.
Oh, okay.
No, it's fine. I was just gonna like scream like full voice with my
That's fine.
unmuted.
So I rolled a 1.
Nice.
So it's a
Perfect.
14.
It's still a 1.
I'm gonna get my dice real quick.
Okay. I'll wait.
Guidance.
This
just getting
this
used to
break
it.
brought to you by Kleenex. Not affiliated.
But it's
Please.
brought to you by.
So
Kleenex and Neutrogena.
I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
guess.
Oh,
I'm gonna guess like 3.
Focus,
one-handed
Taylor.
reading.
Focus,
0,
Taylor. Focus.
17.
She smiles and she says, "You were closer with the first guess. In total, in our region of this cosmos, there's been 5.
So close.
The first was intentional. Have you ever heard of the dragon Io, who created Tiamat and Bahamut?
With that history check, probably not.
This is fairly common lore.
That
I was
makes-
asking to see if you knew how many there would be. Io split himself in 2 and has never reformed, and he can't. The second was one of the Balin, the god of luck, as he was called. His name was Caro. and he was Savros's brother. Ilarka and his children destroyed Caro. The third and fourth were very recent. Alsa and Magda, the daughters of Senna and Talon. They were destroyed because they were so small and young and weak that it was easy as could be for Sav to destroy. And the last was Taiylor, the one who killed his sisters. Once he was no longer useful, he was cut loose by the horsemen of the dissolution, and his own father was forced to kill him. And because Talon created him, he had the power to destroy him. Only 5 Christmas. And 4 of them are related to the horsemen of the dissolution in some way. And the only horseman among them who actually knows anything about trapping souls and destroying them is Sav himself. I have never destroyed another god. I don't know how. Atlaran has never destroyed another god. She has no idea. Talon only managed it because he was destroying a piece of himself. So what you're asking, Christmas, is not impossible. But, no offense, my darling, but a mortal life is not nearly enough to summon up that kind of power, and it's not going to give us the knowledge of how. Every god is unique. Much like the Archfey, each one must be killed a certain way, and there's no way of knowing until you find it practically by accident.
Then let me make a counteroffer. An immortal lifetime of service. Look, Sav, he ain't the first. He ain't gonna be the last asshole that tries to take this world for his own. And if we can't destroy him, he's gonna come back.
I know.
We weren't ready this time, and we should have been. I used to wake up every morning thinking about the next fool that I could pull one over on. Now I wake up surrounded by everything and everyone I ever wanted, and they deserve to live their lives out from under this shadow called Sav. I made up Christmas when I was 6 years old to be the hero that a little boy needed to get away from a mundane life. I made up Christmas to be the hero that I needed. Now he's killing gods, protecting the people of Atlaran, protecting the people of the Feywild. Sav can only be the beginning. Some people can do what we do and move on. Magda wants to move on. They can win, and then they can rest, like Marin did. I cannot rest, knowing that this will inevitably happen again, while my family and friends and the ones that they love are still walking this world. I cannot rest, knowing this will happen again, and Christmas might not be there to help them. Billions of years 10 years is nothing to a god. A mortal life is an instant. An instant of service is not enough. I can't let Christmas just last an instant, and I will gladly give up everything to make that come true. So, yes. Take
Christmas
me
Fortunemær.
forever so that I can teach this asshole a lesson.
You're asking me to make you an archfey.
If that's what it has to be, then so be it.
I'll be honest with you, my dear. My instinct is to tell you no. You don't know what you're asking for. You don't know the loneliness and loss you're asking for. But I may have some potential solutions to that. If you really want this, I need you to understand a couple of things. First of all, you're going to put me out of commission for a little while as I do what needs to be done to get you to where you need to be. Secondly, I will not let you enter into this alone. You will lose everyone you love. You will watch them all die, whether it is decades from now, centuries from now. Do not come alone. I will trust whoever you pick. And thirdly, if you do this, you cannot be normal ever again. Is that something you're willing to
Yes.
give up? Peace, a life away from this?
Yes. Because I'll lose Foostrak, but I'll see him live on in his son. I'll lose Magda. I may lose Gwen again. And I will see them live on in their family, in their descendants. Every time I see a stick of dynamite, I'll think of Noah. But when this world advances and creates new, wonderful things, I'll think of him too. And those people they don't deserve to have this happen again. So yes, I may not understand completely, but I understand enough. And my answer is yes.
I don't know that I can do that to you, Christmas. And you hear behind you the doors to Hollamordu open. And Ross steps up. He's got his hands in his pocket. He's in his signature black suit. And he said, sorry to eavesdrop. Does my opinion mean anything in this little powwow? Chris?
Ross, your opinion always matters to me.
All right, cool. And he strides forward and he crosses his arms as he stops beside you. He's still, you can see he's like recovered some of his strength from helping Morrigan reascend. He's taller, his posture is perfect again, and he looks up at his mother. He says, "Listen, Ma, this crazy bastard is one of my favorite mortals. I don't think that's a big secret. We spent a lot of stupid fun times together. And I already know who he's going to pick as his second mom. And you will love her. But I don't think you need to be precious with him. He knows what he's doing. Well, he doesn't know what he's doing, but he knows what he wants. So, if my opinion means anything as the prince of the Court of Reckoning, I'll second him." And Morrigan stares down at her son. And you can see this is not an unfamiliar conversation. Things like this have happened before. And she sighs. Is dear Robin correct? Are you going to choose Salo?
Well, it's either her or Tristan, but I think I have a better idea for Tristan after all said and done.
I have a better idea for... Well, we don't call him Mr. Kepler anymore. It's just Tristan. He has been surprisingly lovely. And I'm glad to have him. I can see potential in him. And in what you have done thus far as a member of the Court of Reckoning, as short a time as it's been, it has so much potential. There is a part of me that would love to keep you forever, because I see the good you can do. But there is also a part of me that, and she glances at Robin, she says, that is also somewhat motherly and doesn't want to see children throw their lives away for causes, for anything other than themselves and the things they love. But I suppose that's exactly what you're doing. Here's my deal, Mr. Fortunemær. You will become a permanent fixture of the Court of Reckoning alongside Sala, if she agrees.
I cast Sending to Sala.
Okay.
Hey, baby, want to live forever?
Basically.
That's what I was just thinking. Hey, baby, won't be immortal.
I will use as many castings of Sending as it takes to just sum up. I'm here with Morrigan, and I would think that he's probably had a conversation with Sala about what happens after Sav, if there's an after Sav, and how he just feels like it can't just stop there. So this will just sort of be like, Morrigan has made me an offer to, well, that's a lie. I made Morrigan an offer to, you don't need the details, because I already know that you're going to say yes, so I'll just ask the question. If you and I could live forever together, and do some fucking good in this world. Would you say yes?
I'm gonna say, I didn't count the number of words, but mark off 3 whatever spell slots for that.
Basically.
Just in case something else happens today, but I doubt it. There is a pause. And you know Sala's back in Sing Tower, or at least nearby.
It comes back and every word is like way longer because of the time dilation.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Hi, Sala. Yeah.
You only speak in whale in the Feywild.
Yes. When sending from the
Does
Feywild.
that mean that whales are actually fey creatures?
Yes.
Obviously, look at them.
Where do you think Tall Donna's got those cool tattoos from?
Only the sky whales are in the Feywild.
They're those two.
Yeah.
Those are actually in Arborea.
Oh, can't wait to see those if I'm alive.
Anyway, there's a pause, as you can definitely tell she's considering, and she's. Let me want something real quick. You guys have had a lot of conversations about like what's the after, if there is one, and you've gone through several different ideas, anywhere from as simple as what Sala originally wanted 10 years ago, which was, 5 and a bit years ago, where all she wanted was just a simple home, maybe a family, normal ass work, to have her. I mean, she's an artist, that's her passion, and she never gets to do it. And just all that simple, boring, wonderful stuff. But after you guys came back together, that dream got a little bit bigger. And since your other experiences with Archfey and serial killers and gangs and gods, the dream has changed, not because Sala feels like she has to support you, but because she's realizing she's not so small as she thought. And your ideas of what should come after have become more and more commingled. And so after a long pause, you hear her say, "Living forever and doing some good." Yeah. Sure.
I'll cast one more sending, and I'm just like, I'm gonna make you your own garden. You're gonna be able to paint as much as you want. It's gonna be great. Obviously, there's a lot of work that we'll have to do, but you will still get the things that you deserve.
2 sendings. And her answer back to you is just, "I love you."
I can't respond without casting it again. You
That's
know what?
okay.
Fuck it.
She knows.
I
She
cast
knows.
sending at 4th level, and I just say, I love
God.
you too.
Oh my god.
I love it. Yay. Best love story. Okay. Just, God, fucking, I can't compare it to Silas and Marin because different.
Very different. Very
Very
different.
Yeah, this
Yes.
time no.
No,
There's
no.
less
still
going
a-
on
No,
this time.
you have to say it.
There's less going on this time?
There's less going on this time because it's not just me sitting here by myself while you and Ash flirt with each other for 4 hours.
You're right, it's the 3 of
Yeah.
you sitting by each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, I flirt with everybody. Just, there's certain people who decide to become couples.
hmm
Anyway.
Well, to be
Um,
fair, I didn't decide to become a couple. That was built in when I took over Marin.
Yeah, but I asked your opinion.
I
Could have said no.
Okay.
I
been
could
like,
have just been like,
I want a
"Fuck you."
divorce.
God things would have been so different if you had
Yeah.
said, nah, I don't want Silas. Tall, thin, rake boy. Anyway.
Just my type.
Right? Yeah, you send that back, and Morrigan, as you were having this conversation, do you speak your sendings out loud?
This time I do.
Okay. So as soon as you give back the I love you too, she smiles and shakes her head. You mortals are always, well, you're always a pain but a joy at the same time. Mr. Fortunemær, I think a very long conversation is due between several people in this court as we figure out details, but we aren't going to talk details until we know that there will be a Christmas in a few weeks. So I'll tell you what I can do for you now. You and your friends, the nobodies, if I remember correctly, I can give you at least a boost on this short notice. I don't know how to destroy Sav, but I will do everything in my power to help you find out. And she nods toward Ross as well and says, and Robin will be helping me, along with anyone else in the court that can be spared. Everyone, if I have my way. The crows, I think, may have their first job cut out for them. I have an idea that perhaps their first show of goodness and loyalty to the Court of Reckoning should be researching on your behalf and seeing if they can find some secrets that normal people cannot. So with that said, I promise you that before you all head off to face Sav, I will send everything I can your way. It won't be this moment, but plan on some extra magic, maybe a few unique abilities if I can spare them. And if you should like to take Ross, or Robin, she calls him Robin, never Ross. If you would like to take Robin with you, if he agrees, I would also allow it.
I'll just turn to. I should stop calling him Ross too. I will turn.
I mean, you can call him Puck, Ross, Robin, Greer, whatever you want to call him.
I will
Green
turn
Boy
to Robin. Just put a hand on his shoulder. Be like old times.
Yeah, pretty much. Causing a lot of trouble. Typical.
You want to come help us kill a god?
If you want me there, and you got room for me, sure, why not?
I actually don't think that we have room for you.
Well, if anybody says no, let me know.
Okay.
How long can you hold your breath in a bag of holding?
Yeah.
Forever. He's fucking Robin Goodfellow.
Yeah.
We could just put him in a bag.
Yeah.
Right.
That has been discussed.
Well,
But-
we were gonna make a simulacrum of Flameheart to stick in the bag of holding.
I will tell you, if you bring too many NPCs, I'm splitting them off from you.
Yeah. I
Okay.
Ross, I'm gonna be real. Robin, I'm sorry. What do you prefer?
I mean, I'm used to you calling me Ross, but I mean, my actual name is Robin.
All right. Well, Rob, I'll tell you what.
Damn it. Yeah? What?
I think that you should stay.
Reggie?
Look after your mom. And if things go poorly, you're going to be needed here. Plus, we kind of got a full boat already.
Yeah. Well, if you all manage to make it out of there alive, Court of Reckoning, Hollow Mordu, all that, it's always open to you. All of you.
When he says all of you, I feel like Christmas looks around for a second and just realizes the absence of everyone else there. If there is nothing more needed of me here, then well, as Foostrak likes to say, time is fucky in the Feywild, so
Yeah.
I should go back to my friends.
You see Ross reach into, he wears a three-piece suit. He reaches into his vest on the inside of his coat, and he pulls out a not a stopwatch, pocket watch.
Card. Okay.
A pocket watch on a chain, and you can see that the pocket watch is made of, it looks like liquid glass. Like, it's not glowing, but it looks like this is not solid glass. And he looks into it, and you can see,
It's a Dali clock.
you can see the, gears ticking away inside. And he looks down at the watch, and he says, well, if you hurry, it looks like you're in luck. Today's a little less fucky.
Cool.
All
I'll
right.
just look at Morrigan, see if there's anything else expected of me.
She steps down the short little flight of stairs, and steps up to you. Now, Morrigan is 9 feet tall normally. This is just sort of how she presents herself. And she leans down and hugs you.
Aw. I hug back. I was
And
gonna do this, but you're too tall, so it's hard for me to get.
but you feel her kiss the top of your head, and she says, please don't die. You're already very dear to me. If you have to run away, and we can try again another time. And give Solomon my welcome and my love.
I will.
But you'd better go before, indeed, time becomes especially fucky.
I will plane shift back to Sing Tower.
For the rest of you guys, Christmas is gone 2 days.
Jesus.
Not that bad.
I mean, yeah.
Considering he was probably there half an hour. I rolled for this between sessions. I was like, fuck! That's one of the highest I can roll. But you weren't there for very long, so it's not too bad.
Right.
But yes, you will pop in basically right back where you plane shifted from originally. In these 2 days as well, I do want to say, Ben and I specifically talked about something that was happening over the downtime. So we will get to that in just a hot second. But when Christmas pops back in, you will. It's not hard to figure out how long you've been gone, but what do you do as you arrive back and find Sing Tower?
I pop back into the chair that I plane shifted out of right after I got my tattoo done.
Okay.
Just sort of take in the Atlaran air.
Smells like lake.
Yep.
Atlaran.
Ertlearn.
What time of day is it? Is there a window?
There are many windows in Sanctar. You would probably be back. It's 2 days. You're probably back a little bit later in the morning than when you left.
Okay.
But 2 days later.
Hopefully nobody's sitting in that chair when he pops back in.
No.
I will. I will actually try to go find Magda.
Ew, where's Magda? After getting home from the visit to Hjolnir.
Is this like 2 days after that, or?
Yeah, I believe you would have gotten back just before Christmas left.
Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing?
I don't know.
I would say I am practicing flying, like around the tower. Maybe doing it like over the lake a little bit and just trying to figure out how to maneuver better and stuff.
You're learning how updrafts work.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So
yeah.
I'm just flapping around in the air. Yeah. not uncoordinated, you know what I mean.
Yeah. But yeah, I think being that there's really not much else of human size flying around this area anymore, you would probably spot her out the window eventually.
Cool. I'll just go to where I assume she like took off from and where she'll like come back to, probably like the big porch where she first figured out how to fly, and I'll just like grab a chair from inside the tower if there's not one like on the balcony, and just put it out there and just sit and just wait for Magda to come back.
Okay.
Ye old lawn chair.
Yep.
Got a beer in one hand.
Got a bud in one
Sazerac.
hand.
Yep.
Yep.
I'll probably see him, and then I'll fly back over and land on the railing there and just kind of stand there and be like, fucking creepy.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is a callback!
Little bit.
You got a moment?
I have many moments. I'll jump down. What's up?
You ever fire a gun before?
Yeah, once or twice. It's not my thing, but...
If we, if something happens to me, I need you to do me a favor.
Oh, God.
Because I know that you ain't gonna quit until this is done. And I think now your head's in the right space where you're the right person for this. I will summon the Ace of Spades. If I die, and I'm sure Flameheart will agree, I want you to take this, and I don't want you to give it to anyone else until that son of a bitch is dead.
Well, you're not gonna die, so... Sure.
put the gun back. I expected you to put more of a fight up, but cool. So far, this is a pretty smooth conversation for me and you.
Well, listen, I haven't kicked your ass in a very long time. Figuratively. I guess I've never really kicked your ass, but verbally kicked your ass. Whatever. You know what I mean. But yeah, you're not gonna die, so it's not gonna be an issue. Theoretically, if you did die, how would it just like fall out of you or something?
Probably.
Like, that's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that shit works.
Mm.
We can kill you a moment, see what happens to your sword.
No, I don't want that.
Noah can bring you back pretty easily.
No. I'm good.
Those were not defibrillators. That was dynamite.
Yeah.
That's
God.
a Borago defibrillator. Defibrillator.
Defibrillator.
Hard word to say.
He's Southern. Give him a break.
That's the Borago version of a defibrillator.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well. Yeah.
You
If
and I don't
die-
talk much, do we?
If I die, I want you to have my tattoos.
I have no
Oh,
idea
shit.
how that works. I don't want to
You
go
just-
through all of the whatever you went through to be what you are.
It wasn't very fun. No.
No,
it
I'm
was-
sure it wasn't. Was it worth it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I'm having a great time, but
Honestly, he like rolls up his sleeves. I don't think I have any space, honestly.
oh
I'm
yeah,
all-
that's
I'm
right.
all
You
filled
have
up.
like experience with that. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Just saw him off my body, I guess.
Just
That's
take a fillet
ridiculous.
knife.
Please tell me Magda laughs just like that
Yeah.
after saying
Yes.
that.
It's one of the reasons Gwen thinks she's cute as fuck.
I know,
That's also probably one of the first times you genuinely have heard Magda laugh.
Yeah.
Talking about slicing tattoos off
Yeah.
your body. She's like,
It's stupid.
it's very cute.
I know that you and I, in particular, got off to not a great start when this all started. And clearly, we still don't always get along. Lord knows I like to push buttons.
I haven't found you in my room since then, so I guess I'm more
I'm
okay with
glad
you.
you haven't found me yet.
Okay, now less okay. Eh.
But everything else notwithstanding. Oh god, this is about to get real meta. I consider you like my sister. And well, there's not a whole lot I wouldn't do for you.
I am an only child, so I guess I can't really compare it to anything, but yeah, you're my brother.
We're bros.
I guess we're bros.
We're bros.
I'm
yeah.
cool with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
From what I've heard, you kind of always want to kill your siblings a little bit, so it seems.
like me personally, or just like a general?
No, just
Oh,
generally.
Okay, because I also am an only child, so I
Oh.
don't know that I quite understand
You are now.
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, generally, people want to kill the siblings
Cool.
in a loving way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
So yeah, all that nice stuff aside, this feels like I'm just hitting myself in the head with a sledgehammer. So I'm
Little bit.
gonna leave,
All right.
and you You're getting the hang of that whole flying thing, so that's cool. That's
Thanks.
Cool. Anyway,
Appreciate it.
I leave.
Okay. I go back to
Exit.
flying around.
Pursued by ego. All right. Sorry, Red Dead / Shakespeare reference. Anyway.
I'll just say at this point that I go find Sala and catch her up on stuff.
Yeah,
I
imagine
tell her everything.
I imagine the moment you find her, she's like, "Okay, what did I agree to?"
Yeah. Exposition.
Yes. I'm gonna say that after you finish catching her up, she stops and thinks over everything for a moment. And she looks up at you and she says, "I'm mad at you.
Yeah, I'd probably deserve that.
You were gonna go do that by yourself?"
Well, I knew that you wanted to go see, family and stuff.
I was already back when you left.
I didn't know that.
Yes, you did.
I don't remember knowing that.
An eternity of this.
Christmas getting dementia.
The immortality will fix that until you get the thing where, because you have so many memories, then you start getting a new kind of dementia, which is worse.
Oh boy.
And you just lose the beginning of the recording.
Yep.
But yeah.
You lose the Reziel fight.
Yes. God damn it! But yeah, she looks up at you. Sala, I don't think I need to reiterate, she's a tiny thing. Not as small as Vesper, but small. And she's standing in like that pose, like kind of leaning into one leg with her arms crossed as she looks up at you. And she says, "You were gonna go become an archfey by yourself?"
Look, I didn't know that that's what it was going to be. Okay, I had to think on my feet in the moment where I said the one thing and she was like,
But
"No, you can't do that." And then I was like, "Well, hold on, it's got to be more than that."
But you offered to serve Morrigan for the rest of your life without me? Granted, you wouldn't have lived nearly as long as me, which is dark, but still. What the fuck, Christmas?
I knew that wherever I went, you would follow.
Well, yeah.
And even if an offer wasn't explicitly made for this, if there's one person that would have found a way to stick around, it's you.
So, if we survive this, we're Fae?
If we survive this, we're around for the next dickhead that shows up and tries to pull this shit again. And yes, I guess we're Fae. Which, if I'm being honest, is like a dream come true for me, but nothing I ever considered would actually happen.
I mean, I'm an elf. I'm already basically half Fae.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that big of an adjustment. I just probably won't have to sleep. Ever.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Sleep is still nice.
Sleep
even
is like
when you...
It's my favorite thing.
I know.
Literally, it's like my favorite thing. It's so nice.
It's still nice even when you don't have to do it. I don't have to sleep. I can just trance. But listen. Stop trying to do things by yourself. Because you're my husband, and we're supposed to do things, big things together. You can do your little things on your own. I'll give you your privacy. You can have your projects and all that. But big life decisions like this... Let's go together next time.
Yes, but I think that you and I also need to make a promise to each other. If it comes down to all of them, and I don't just mean, the chuckle fucks over in the next room. If it comes down to everyone else, or me, or it comes down to everyone else but you, we have to be able to save them, or this is for nothing.
I don't know if I can make that choice.
Then it has to be something else.
Wherever you go, I go.
And same to you. In that case, if it does come down to that choice, we both go down together. For them.
Agreed. Even if we're not there to see it, it would be really nice for them to get Gwen back and still have Magda. Even if we're not there.
Yep.
Alright. But just know, if you die, you're responsible for me dying.
Well, I understand. So to wait until this thing goes off and I come back, and then, because that's the... I imagine I took the watch back from Noah at some point and still have it.
Yeah, she nods, says, I promise I'll wait till after the battle is over to throw myself off a cliff if you die.
Thank you. Alright.
Yeet.
I feel like I've been awake for only the morning, but also that it's been like multiple days. What day is it?
I think it's the 18th.
Okay. I'm gonna go to sleep and stop being the main character for a minute, and then the rest of these people can, do their shit. They can reminisce about what happened while I was gone, while I sleep, and then I'll come back and turn the spotlight on again.
Go away.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.
At night when we're all standing around at the dinner table, we're like, oh, remember? Wasn't it really cool 2 days ago when we killed that dragon?
Yeah.
It's just like a whole bunch of anime exposition.
Yeah. Man, I wish Christmas was here for that.
Jesus. But yes, I will say that we'll go through the end of this day. Does anybody
turn your mic up a little bit?
Me?
Koop, turn your mic up a little bit.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
should probably just be closer to it too.
Yeah, that usually helps. So I know where I'm going next because Ben has a plan and I have a plan.
Yes.
Is there anything y'all need to do before I track you?
I mean, I figure shortly after Magda got back would probably be when Foostrak would grab her for a particular conversation.
If I die,
involving
I want
the
you to have the
Lycari.
lady's hammer.
No, I assume that if I die, the blessing leaves the hammer, and it's just a hammer again. And I don't think any of you will be strong enough to pick it up.
Probably not.
But yeah, a particular conversation with the Lycari or any collective members that might be in Sing Tower. Unless you'd prefer that happens after Noah's thing.
I don't know what the conversation is about. So let me give you a quick catch up here. So the GWC is no longer based in Sing Tower. They've moved into the city. They've taken it over pretty much. There's only a small resistance force left on the west end. The Lycari are not at the tower anymore either. And only a few of them are still in Awaz.
Okay.
So if there are any in particular that you want to talk with, you can call them in.
There are definitely a few.
Okay.
I would probably want Vesper for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Flameheart and Keladir. And if I can get Kit and Kenna.
It's like a council meeting. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, he's basically just picked out all the people you guys are sure of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with Kit and Kenna typically comes Burke and Nix as well.
Which is fine if they're there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you'd be able to get these guys, especially because you guys are friends.
Yeah. And then once they're all there, I would go grab Magda.
Okay. So let's say this then. Vesper is probably the easiest person for you to reach. I have it in my head that she's keeping in contact with you because she's keeping tabs on what you guys are doing and when you're ready to go. Through that, and also her sort of spreading the word to the others, she'll be able to gather. So it's Vesper, Flameheart, Keladir, Kit, Kenna, Burke, and Nix. So they will come in to join you on the bottom floor of Sing Tower, leaving Ember and a couple other people to look after Rolliger and Vern. You guys do know that Christine and Chips went home to Reese's Ridge to work on something. But yes, Magda, I imagine Foostrak will probably catch you, like, whatever you're doing in, like, the late morning.
Just flying around the tower.
No, I don't know.
Honestly, that's
probably
not
just-
a bad idea.
Yeah. I'd say probably just, like, limbering up and
Keeping in
walking
practice.
around. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mag, you got a minute? I wanted to have a conversation with you.
Oh god, everybody wants to have a conversation these days. Okay, sure. Let's go.
All right, come on, follow
Jasper
me.
walks up like, Magda, okay.
Oh, God.
I believe technically this happens
Get in line.
before Christmas has the conversation with you.
Oh my god.
It doesn't matter. Timey bullshit.
Timey-wimey.
Yeah.
Lovely one.
And I will lead her down to the bottom floor where everyone else is assembled.
Mm-hmm.
So
You see Kenna just, like, sitting there, like...
What's with the formalities?
it is about a conversation that Vesper and I had a few nights ago, after we found out about Morgan. And a conversation that I had with Christmas shortly before he left to go see his parents. Vesper mentioned the idea that she remembers before she was a Lycari. And she remembers the core.
Okay.
And there is a discussion that we had about potentially bringing the core with us to fight Sav. Something of that power, it would be immensely helpful. And my original idea was actually to put it into the hammer. Just put it right into the head of the hammer, and after we're done, tossing the whole fucking thing into Mount Gear. Christmas had some concerns about that, though.
Yeah.
Mostly having to do with rage and the power that I already wield. And he and I came to an agreement that if anyone should wield the core, should we bring it, it would be you, Magda.
Where did this all come from?
I mean, I don't know all the history. Admittedly, the teaching back in the Nathar was not wonderful. So if you want to know where the core staff came from, I can't.
Christmas just asked me if he dies to take over the Ace of Spades, and now you're saying that I should take over a fucking Heidelin staff. What the?
Magda,
okay. Listen.
You're the one with clear-cut goals at the end of this. You just want to be done. You also have the most, in terms of this, that you have to deal with. You dealt with Sav more than any of us. You were cursed by him. You've earned the right to that power. And to be able to take him down once and for all.
If Sav gets a hold of that, what happens if I go down? And if he gets a hold of it? That spells chaos.
It does. My understanding of the core is that it amplifies everything. It amplifies rage and emotion and magic. Just, it's a general amplifier. But in the right hands, I think that it could be an extraordinarily powerful item for good. And that then it should be destroyed. If at all possible.
Kit raises his hand.
Yes, Kit.
Let me start off by saying this is one of the best worst ideas I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Agreed.
It's not a compliment.
Kind of felt like one. You did also say best, not just worst.
It's the worst best idea as well.
Okay, that's not as good.
You see he's got like his fingers laced together in front of him as he looks down at the tabletop that you guys are sitting around. He says, if I was going to pick anybody out of this ridiculous fucking group, it would be Magda. Because you get angry, and that's gonna be spun out of control. Crazy. Christmas is... I trust the guy's intentions, but I don't trust that they won't be twisted. Same kind of goes for Sala. Now I don't know you guys all that well, but from what I've seen of Magda, Foostrak's right. You do have the most clear-cut goals here. You don't want power. You want to be done. You want a life. You want peace. And there is no... Not to say you are not an ambitious person, but there is not an ambition there that the core staff can pervert. That's what happened to me. My panic and ambition. But I think it needs to be said that, oh, good lord, someone's dog in the tower is just going fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Says, I also think that, and he motions to the other people at the table who have just been kind of listening thus far. Says, I also think that we need everyone's input. Not the whole Obsidian Collective, I don't give a fuck, but these are the people whose opinions I actually give a damn about at this point. Like, Armin's alright, but he doesn't know anything about this shit, and I'm sure not gonna ask Hana Yukagara, she's too busy with other shit in Echo. But, and he looks at everybody else, and he looks to Kenna in particular, because she's the one who has the core, and if she says no, it ain't happening. But Flameheart is the next one to speak up, and he says, I mean, from what I know about this group from Christmas and spending some time with you all, I think if we're going to hand it to anybody involved in this situation, Magda's probably the safest and strongest bet. And Kaladir doesn't comment, but she agrees. She nods. Burke and Nix, who really haven't gotten any chance to spend time with you guys, Burke doesn't say anything. He looks to Kenna, because she knows more than he does. Whereas Nix, he first looks at Kit, he looks at Magda, and then he looks at Foostrak and says, you know, I actually thought, he's Kiwi, right?
He was like Australian or Kiwi.
Yeah, he's kind of
something.
Australian
I don't
Kiwi.
remember.
Says, God, how do I do Kiwi? I forgot. Oh, no.
Yes.
Yes, my name is Jix. There we go.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah, he says, I've actually thought occasionally about, like, if anybody was ever to have the core staff or it became a Lycari or anything like that, like, who would I feasibly choose? And I haven't found anyone yet that I'd be like, yeah, they should be the bearer of that kind of Lycari. Not only do I think that's a bad idea, but also I don't know anybody else that I think could handle it. Magda's kind of, from what I've seen thus far, I obviously don't know you that well. You seem like exactly the kind of person the original collective might have asked.
Well, they have some poor judgment.
No, I think you just have poor self-esteem, darling.
I second that.
But yeah, he just gives you one of his unhinged, charming smiles. Says, I really, honestly, way back when, so the last couple of bearers were, well, the very last bearer was Quinn for Vespa, the Golahide. And it was kind of because we couldn't, well, they didn't feel like they could trust anyone else. And Quinn was just like, yeah, sure, why not? Do some good. So I think I think you're in that sort of group. I think you're in that range. But you have to say yes. Because we can all ask you to do it all we want, but unless you say yes, and honestly, unless Kenna says yes, it's not going to happen. What, Ben?
I'm just watching Harris eat these pizza rolls, and I'm having a lot of thoughts. And that one just spat all over the plate when he bit into it.
I was looking at him like eating it, like clearly it was still hot, and he was just going.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway.
sorry.
But yeah, Nix shrugs. He says, I mean, if you say no, we won't make you do it. But if it's a concern of whether or not you think you can, I think you can.
You know, there was a time that I was given a choice. A yes and no. And it really fucked me up. But I guess I didn't really have anybody else in my corner telling me that it was a good or bad idea.
You feel Vesper's hand lay on yours. She looks up at you and she says, you have people in your corner now. And if it gets to be too much, you're not going to become a bearer. You're not going to be stuck to it forever. If you decide it's too much, you can change your mind.
The things I do for love. Alright, yeah. I'll take it.
All eyes at the table turn to Kenna.
Yup.
And she's been sitting there like this the whole time. Why am I
I'm
always
not
the
going to
bad
fight
guy?
you for it.
Why do I always end up in the position to become the bad guy? Because if I say no,
someone has
I'm
to
the
be.
bad. We're already bad guy.
Who's Sav?
This is why occasionally for a couple decades I become an alcoholic.
Just for a couple
A couple decades before she's like, nah, it's not working anymore.
Yeah.
Need something
and-
harder.
She looks at Kit. She says, do you, dumbass, really think that if you couldn't handle it, she can? And to his credit, Kit looks her dead in the eye, completely fearless, because he spent 300 years with this fucking woman. And he says...
She's awful.
And he says, yeah, I do. And I am, unlike you, a big enough person to admit when I fucked up. And I fucked up. I don't think Magda's going to make my mistake. She might make a mistake, but it's not going to be the same one I made. Kind of nods ever so slightly. She says, okay. First of all, Magda, there's a couple things you need to know about this fucking staff.
Hmm.
Yes, it is an amplifier of practically everything. Secondly, if you let it get out of control, something is going to happen to you. And we don't know what it's going to be. We've seen a few manifestations of it, but most of the time people get petrified slowly. That's what happened to the first girl who brought the core to my attention way back in before Calamity times. She had basically a stone arm by the time she got to me. You also need to know that while I haven't spent the time to confirm it, there is still most likely a piece of Ulgar Hydaelyn inside the core. It is unstable enough that I believe it's still him. And so one of two things is going to have to happen. Either you are going to have to contend with him, or we're going to have to figure out how to get him out of there. Getting him out of there means becoming a bearer. At least temporarily. You don't have to make that decision right now because we're not going to go get the core stuff right now. I will do what I can to neutralize it so that I can bring it out to you safely. So talk with your friends about what the plan is. Make sure you actually have a plan. And when I bring it to you, we'll figure out what to do. Is it an enthusiastic yes?
Yeah.
All right. Are we done? And she looks at everybody, and she looks at Foostrak. Are we done?
Kenna, one last thing.
What?
When it comes to you working on the core staff, you should talk to Vesper about it.
She looks at Vesper. And Vesper shrugs, nods a little bit, and she says, yeah, no offense, Kenna, I know you're kind of the Hydaelyn stave expert, but I'm the core staff expert. And you see Kenna's eyebrows go up as little Vesper speaks up for herself. And she's like, okay. All right. You should probably come with me then.
Foostrak looks at Vesper and just
little Vesper.
Oh no, I got sauce all over my shirt.
Oh no.
I was gonna wear this to the birthday thing. Oh, fuck me running. All right.
No,
I'll be in different clothes after break.
All right. Yeah. So with that, Kenna will stand up from her seat and Burke beside her. Says, all right, well, I guess I gotta go back up north. Let me know when you guys are finishing up your prep to head to Stirnagard, and I'll come your way with the staff. Bring gloves. Maybe. Actually, no. You're going to need to touch it. Never mind. Okay. But yeah, she steps away with Burke and Vesper. Keladir and Flameheart both get up. They are currently working in Awaz, so they don't have far to go. Kit and Nyx. Nyx heads out, but Kit steps up to you, Magda. Says, I'm sorry.
For what?
I've been kind of a dick to you guys. And I think you deserve some thanks for what you've done so far. And you can see he's saying this very begrudgingly.
From what I hear, you being a dick isn't, like, totally out of the realm of normalcy, so I wasn't really taking it personally.
Well, that's good, I guess. But I also think some praise is deserved for fixing my mess. Or at least getting us on the track to where I could help fix my mess. And getting into all of Lord Dine's stuff and all of that. So
I think the real person that you need to be thanking is Noah.
Absolutely not.
Well, he's the one who figured out most of the stuff about the ultimatum, so... Just saying.
I'll tell his mom I said thanks.
Man, you're fucking 300 years old and you can't even say thank you properly.
I just did!
Oh my god.
God, you fucking... Alright. Anyway. When Kenna brings the core, I do think it's worth reiterating that Vesper is the subject matter expert. So if anything goes wrong or you need to get rid of it, she's the person to go to. Don't try to fight it by yourself. You will lose. And if by chance you hear from Ulgar Heidelin, tell him I said get fucked, if you don't mind. And if you have any questions or need other help, I guess you can ask me.
Honestly,
all right, I've done...
This isn't saying much. I would probably ask you before Kenna, so...
I mean, I am the friendly one. Friendlier.
I don't know how you two haven't murdered each other over the past 2-3 centuries.
No comment. I've done my good deed for the day. Goodbye. And he turns around and walks away. Okay. That will leave Magda and Foostrak. Is there anything else you guys need to do at all?
Before we disperse, I punched Foostrak in the arm and I'm like, thanks for volunteering me.
You take 1/10 of a point of damage.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't even think he feels it.
No.
I don't have good strength either.
I didn't volunteer you for nothing. It was up to you whether or not to say yes or no.
You know, and I appreciate the choice. And the choice to back out if it goes wrong.
Always. I tried to take a choice away from you once, and I don't plan on doing that again.
Okay, I'm gonna do something, and you need to not say a fucking word. Not anything. Not before, not during, and not after. We never speak of it again. And I'll reach up and hug him.
This is exactly what I've always wanted.
No, I said no words. None.
Affection.
Silence. Silence.
No, Chris, get down here. Jasper, you guys Magnus being affectionate.
All right, fine.
Jasper pops his head around a corner.
Nope. I push him away. I'm like, that's all you get. Now, you little shithead. No.
And Jasper comes padding up to you and he wraps his arms around your waist.
I look at Foostrak, I'm never doing that ever again.
You say that now, but if we live, I bet you're going to eat them words.
Oh my god.
You're going to eat them words, Magda.
I got the strength to do it.
I will have hugs. Anyway, So with that,
Oh, I have something real quick. I wanted to talk to Magda.
Oh God.
Magda, sorry, it came out weird.
Okay.
If I die,
gonna-
take my dynamite.
No,
Take all of my Ilmatin bullets so that you can just use
Right.
3
I don't
different
have any more
objects
of
to
those.
blow up the world.
I just find Magda, like, in passing. I'm like, hey, wanted to talk to you real quick.
Yeah.
I know you've been super popular lately, so it's been hard to get a hold of you. I wanted to tell you something really super important. We're gonna be fine, and I don't need anything from you.
I put my hands on both of his shoulders. And I just say, thank you.
That's it, scene.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so good. That's actually God. All right. So, by the time everybody is all regathered and all of these conversations have taken place at one point or another, some of you might be aware that Noah sent Christine off with a project. And one morning, as you guys are sort of wrapping up things at Sing Tower and also have been like training and like refining some skills that maybe you don't use very often.
Yeah, jujitsu.
Yeah, that's what Noah's doing. He's like making it up the whole time.
Just go full made up Krav Maga. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But on this particular morning, let's call it Rionel the 20th, Noah, you wake up to a Vodro letter fluttering down to land next to you.
Oh my God, my life is like a fairy tale. Mail.
Here's that mail that never fails.
But you will you will recognize Christine's handwriting on it. Do you read the letter?
I of course read it and open it and read it aloud for
Just
everybody to
double-checking.
hear. Yeah.
So it's more of a note.
Oh, okay.
It's basically her saying, "Hey, bud, I think I'm pretty much done with this project here in the next couple hours. So if you want to pop over by home, bring your friends. We'll do a whole barbecue and stuff. And yeah, and I made the little one too, like you asked."
Oh, I don't know why I say that out loud. I'm just like, oh, cool. Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks. You're not here, but sure.
But yeah.
Mm-hmm. I immediately like zero in on Walter and like, Walter, are you ready to go to the happiest place on Atlaran?
I like to imagine that Noah gets this letter, is like reading it in bed, just pops out of bed, throws the door open, looks out, and there's Walter, and she's like, Walter. And he's like paused, and he's in like, normally he's like in a full suit and everything, but you catch him like getting his morning coffee in like just slacks and a shirt. It's yeah, but he just kind of pauses with his coffee cup up to his face and slowly lowers it, and he's like,
yeah,
why am I deeply afraid of what that means?
You're gonna eat so much barbecue. It's gonna be great. We've got the softest Davenport you've ever seen. Saw. Touched.
What?
Set upon.
Noah, I say this with the utmost respect for you as my ally, companion, whatever. What is wrong with you?
Finally, someone's asking the important question.
Oh my God.
I just get real close, like eyes wide. I'm like, I don't know what you mean.
And he just slowly brings up his coffee cup to create a little space between the two of you and takes a sip. And he's like, I think that answers my question. I assume you're speaking of Reese's Ridge.
Yes. I just get like super close to his ear and like, we're going home. It's gonna be great.
He puts a hand on your face and pushes you back. And holds you at arm's length as he's drinking his coffee. He says, "Give me an hour," and he walks away. You creepy motherfucker.
I immediately just like bat screech through the house and just like, ah, wake up!
Everybody
Summon the
gets
hammer
woken up.
immediately.
Yeah, I'm like bedhead and like stuff like
you
that.
guys
I'm like,
just
what?
hear insane tiefling infernal screeches.
Mhm.
Oh
I
god,
poke my head out of my
Rashad.
room and I'm like, what the fuck?
that prison warden, he's come.
And just like, Magda, we're going home. Foostrak, we're going home. Christmas, you're invited, I guess.
Don't flirt with my mom. Yeah.
Please don't drink all the booze.
Oh god, he's finally taking us to hell, isn't he? We're finally going to hell.
That's racist.
I mean,
No, I wasn't saying it because
No, I
he's a
know,
tiefling.
I
I'm
know.
saying it's because no. And that seems like it'd be fun to him.
We're going to the fourth ring.
Just
Yeah.
wait until I sneak up on somebody and I'm like, I'm here to take your soul, buddy.
Save it.
I
yeah.
know, don't you worry.
But yeah. Noah goes screeching through the whole tower, waking everybody up, and eventually you all figure out what he's saying. It takes some translation. But Sala will tell you, I think he's screaming about Reese's Ridge. And barbecue? That's what I gathered.
mm-mm.
I heard cake in there too, but that's like his favorite word. So,
Oh fuck yeah.
other than
And
that,
there's a bunch of names in there that kind of sound like food, but we're not really sure.
we're gonna go see Figgy! Yeah. I actually need to bring up that document now.
We get to go see Patty and Bubba Hubble.
Yeah.
I had to pull up
shared
my backstory so I can go
I
through all
shared
these
some
fucking
of
names.
these at New Thanksmas with these
Yeah.
guys.
Oh my god.
I remember Chunk.
New thanks, Miss Tynes Day.
Oh yeah, Chong.
Chunk.
He's my he's my drug dealer.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So, at that, as Noah's gathering everybody up and Walter is preparing for a teleportation, we're going to jump on break a little bit early. So we're going to be back at 1 o'clock Eastern, just because it's a nice breaking point. And we will go.
We didn't get a beach episode this campaign, so this is our beach episode.
This is the beach
This
episode.
is our beach episode.
Yeah.
This is... Yes. Anyway,
Reese's
This is our
episode.
Reese's Pieces beach episode.
Reese's
Not
Peaches.
sponsored.
Reese's Beachies.
Reese's Beaches.
My god,
Oh my
that's what we.
It's
That should
actually
be a new party name. Reese's
Reese's
Bitches.
Beaches.
Yeah,
Reese's-
Reese's Bitches.
Can Reese's Beaches be like a name of a brothel in Reese's Ridge? It's the brothel in Reese's Ridge.
Oh my
And it's on the beach.
Yeah.
Exactly. Reese's
Yeah.
Beaches.
Right
Ooh,
next to
sand.
the
Sand and so many
esteemed
cracks.
franchise, the Blue-Footed
Uh-huh.
Movie.
It is
yeah.
it's run by because they can't Bette Midler. It's run by Bette Midler.
Do half of the
yeah.
people call
Beaches.
it Reese's
Bat
Beaches?
Midler.
Like Reese's
They do.
Pieces?
Bette Midler.
They do.
Yeah.
Reese's Beachies. Anyway, let's go on break. I'll see you at 1 Eastern. And
you're my hero.
prepare your asses. Because this could either be very good or very
Oh
bad.
my god. Prepare
Yep,
thine
that
ass.
sounds about right.
Ah, thine
Prepare.
buttocks. Take us out, Koop.
We'll see you soon.
Take me out, Coop.
We are back to finish the job
Hello.
of going to Wisconsin.
I hope everybody enjoys
Yeah.
watching me eat popcorn like a lizard.
Yes. No, we're going to Minnesota, god damn it.
Oh, Minnesota, that's right.
But yeah. Yes. So you all gather up shit, as Noah is running around the tower like a child that's just been told they're going to go to Disney World. Disney World! Is there anything anybody needs to do before you fuck off to Reese's Ridge? And, like, letting people know you're going if you want to, that's not a problem.
Do we need to be there this day?
Yes.
It can't wait 12 hours?
Nope.
Okay, then no.
Why? What's your concern?
I have a spell I want to cast, but it takes 12 hours.
What spell do you want to cast?
Simulacrum.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't need to do that right now.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, we can do it after.
Yeah.
If you're alive. If Chips doesn't explode you. But yeah.
Yes, I'm sure that's the thing that's waiting for us.
Yeah.
Walter is waiting for you guys on the bottom floor. Now, it's the four of you and Walter and Sala, I assume. Are you taking Jasper with you? Who are you taking with you?
I would probably want to take Jasper, yeah.
We'll probably want a cleric with us, just for reasons.
He's going to be wildly uncomfortable the whole time.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll
yeah.
see.
Jasper or Walter?
Walter will be, absolutely.
Walter for sure.
Jasper will probably be like, oh, nice people, yay. But yeah, Walter gathers you guys up as he begins the casting of teleport, because he's been to Midcourt before, so he can get there pretty handily.
We also have something from Reese's Ridge with us.
Yeah.
Called
Me.
Noah.
Yeah.
I guess that counts for...
Noah's from Lochmanos.
Yeah, technically.
That's true.
Technically. But yeah, Walter begins the casting of his spell, and you all feel as he draws these arcane runes out in front of him. I believe this is a verbal spell, but he likes to flare it up anyway. You all feel the very familiar feeling of having the air sucked out of your lungs and being pushed forward in space northward to a continent we have not yet touched upon in this campaign, and I'm so excited. I will bring you to the continent of Hellas.
We have a map? That bodes well.
Yeah. No, I've always have maps of the continents. The continent of Harris is probably most comparable to North America out of any of the continents. The area that Midcourt sits in is very much like southern Canada. So Minnesota. Midcourt is Ratsha off to the left central, or the west central. The island of Midcourt sits on the edge of the Greenhall Sea, but the port sits further into the straits that's run through the Cannonsborough Isles. Some of you, I imagine, have passed through Harris before, but I can't imagine very many of you. Landing in Port Midcourt, you are immediately taken to a place that sits somewhere in between the technology levels of Ewas and Constanos. Port Midcourt is a pretty much famous port in the world. It's Vedrick and Nataline are kind of the trio that make Western Harris as I wouldn't say rich, but as notable as it is now. Nataline being the one that kind of helped Western Harris recover after the Calamity when it was built. The east side, on the other hand, is mostly dominated by Moore's Rest, which, since being passed to Justine Moore, has since flourished as a port town in control of most of the land in between Wick Pond Pine and Old Cradleport. Port Midcourt is also a city that exists in tiers. The Harborside district is, of course, the lowest, being that it's seaside. But the city sits on a fairly tall hill, like mid-range Appalachian mountain height hill. And each sort of area, each sort of ward of town is a horseshoe shape that switchbacks into itself. The top of Port Midcourt is dominated by a monastery and an abbey that belong to some of the, not as eminent as the Greensmarch Druids, but some of the more eminent Druids in the continent, or on the continent. And Port Midcourt is also very well known for its navy, so you will see a pretty sizable fleet sitting in the harbor. The first thing that will strike you as you guys land, you land in the middle of an outdoor market because it's the area that Walter knows best. And several people jump as you all just appear and land on this beautiful sprawling mosaic of sort of a tree of life knotwork design. And the first thing you'll notice is that this market has every kind of person you can think of. Harris, being that it was shattered, people had to come in and sort of fill in the places where other people had died. So now it is one of the most mixed places in the entire world. And honestly, it was even before the calamity. Noah, you in particular will see that while everything is different, still nothing has changed about this market. There's still the same broad range of color and merchants from all over the world. There are the famous now vendors that sort of line the streets that bring Lochmeny food and Garrelshelian food, that they're sort of the, if you want good Lochmenos street food outside of Lochmenos, you go to Port Midcourt. There's a reason Ted loves it. But you also see that a lot of the permanent businesses there haven't really changed since you've been gone. And you immediately know how to spot where the main headquarters of Borago's Brews, Bones, and Bombs is, because it has a weather vane that sits up higher than a lot of the other buildings. And this weather vane is not the classic rooster or bird. It's a bat. And it's kind of useless because it just spins.
Yeah.
It never actually goes with the wind. It's just a decoration piece at this point. But it is pretty close to the main market here in central Midcourt. Midcourt itself is made up of a lot of warm colors everywhere. A lot of buildings are painted in sort of cheerful yellows or different shades of red and pink or even magenta. There's a deep love of all things warm and rich and comforting. And you all are immediately hit with the smell of wonderful food from all over the place. But as you land, what you
do? Everyone looks at Noah.
Well, we're going straight to the shop, yo.
Okay. You're going to the shop, not the house.
Oh,
they're separate places.
To the house. Did she specify?
Her personal workshop is at the house.
Let's go to the house.
Okay.
Oh no, let's stop by the shop real quick.
All right. So your parents, being that they're gone all the time doing things, they obviously don't run their own shop. I think, did I give you notes on who runs this particular one?
I don't think so. You might have a long time ago, but I don't remember.
Let me double check, just because I don't want to have to create a new person if I don't need to. Wanderlust. What? Shop locations. Hello? Load. Thank you. Fucking Microsoft. Make your shit load faster. Please hold.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. So while I'm waiting for this bullshit, never mind. Skill address.
Boom,
Okay, so no, I did not write down the actual. All right, but I do know who should be here. The people who run this particular shop change out sometimes because this is where your parents train people so that they can open new shops elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So as you arrive at the front of the largest of the Borago shops, the rest of you have never seen one that looks this way. This particular one is basically, imagine the... Okay, so start with Mrs. Lovett's Pie Shop.
Yep.
Like with the bay windows and everything. Now make it twice as big and like 3 times as tall, just stretched. This particular location, the front door is, for lack of a better word, automatic. Like there it is at a couple other locations. But it's this big, gorgeous stone door that if you step up to it, it will swing inward. And instead of the building being made of wood, like almost everything on this island is, the entire thing down to the supports between the window panes, whatever those are called, those are also made of stone. Everything here is melded and molded stone. Mostly because it means it won't blow up as easily, but you know, also it's pretty. The front windows are all stained glass, not in any particular pattern, just cool colors. And stepping up to the stone door, it splits and opens inward for you. And you see rows and rows and racks of different potions and ingredients. There's even a small section that has like live plants, a couple very minor enchanted items available for sale. And then they do sell some things that local artisans make that are useful to apothecarists, alchemists, and that sort of thing. So there's like glassware and tools and what have you. Standing at the back of the shop, behind a huge glass counter case, you see a little, well, he's not standing behind it, he's standing on it because he's tiny. You see a little Zerda Vixu, which is the smallest, like, fennec fox looking guys. And he is currently sitting cross-legged on the counter next to the mechanical register. He has a bunch of like playing cards out in front of him, and it looks like he's playing solitaire. But you can see that he's got this big like chunk taken out of one of his ears, and it looks fairly recent. And he's missing his little finger on one hand. As he's playing. He looks pretty young, like probably younger than you, Noah. But he's just happily playing away, and you see he's got like on a nice pinstriped like suit vest and a nice dress shirt and slags.
So just for my clarification,
Yeah.
I can't figure out if Borago's Brews and Balms hires amputees or they hire people who become amputees.
They definitely become amputees.
It's option
Yeah.
two.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah.
Chips likes to hire people who are as crazy as him, but Christine makes sure they've learned from their mistakes.
Christine's the one who cuts off their fingers. They're like, see, this is what'll happen if you do this
Yeah.
wrong.
This is what'll happen if you don't have a guard on a table saw. Yeah. But as the door opens, the little Vixu looks up, and you see like these giant blue eyes look out, and he pops up and kind of like straightens his vest and everything. And you don't know this Vixu. You've never met him. He's brand new. And he like clasps his hands in front of him, and he says, hey, hello. Welcome to Borago's Brews, Bombs, and Bombs. How can I help you?
Oh, that's a new addition. When did that happen?
I'm pretty sure that was really recent. What can I do for you?
I kind of turned to everybody else and be like, we're going to do a little secret shopping. Don't tell anybody. Go buy something from him. And then I'm just going to kind of wander and be like, oh, just looking.
Oh, okay. If you got any questions, let me know.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, Koop.
And then he takes a drink.
This is for Noah.
Oh, yeah.
Can we actually do like some secret shopping here? That's cool.
I was planning on doing it.
Yeah, go shop.
Cool. I have two very small things I gotta find. Christmas just runs off into the workshop looking for a small silver spoon worth at least 5 gold and a small piece of marble. Like very, very small piece of marble.
What are these components for?
I'll message you.
Okay. Everybody else think about what you're doing.
I'm going to look at the rack of potions that they have on the side of the wall.
I was also going to look at the potions.
I'm just looking at magic items.
You can... Oh, okay. Noah, you can see that it is not surprising to you, considering how busy your parents have been, that it's probably about half stocked at the moment with potions, and it's mostly the like the higher end ones that are gone at the moment. As for Christmas, considering the kind of shop this is, yes, you can find those things. Cool. But yeah, some of the lower end potions, though, you do see that like they keep a big back stock of the most common potions, so it's not surprising to see that they have plenty. And they have a pretty good set of like components that they provide as well that are like almost like if you go into a spice shop, how they have like those bags open full of just like piled spices. They have that with like components that can be in that form, and then they've got like a wall of drawers, like tea shops that are full of other components. But yeah.
Is there any potions there that aren't like a basic healing potion?
There are definitely some water breathing potions because this is a coastal town. You would probably be able to find one growth potion there. And a lot of the other ones are kind of honestly gardening related, like slightly magical forms of fertilizers. Like this shop serves a lot of people, but it also serves the locals. So they mostly take, like, if you need something specific or expensive, they take it on commission.
Gotcha. So I'm going to kind of, like, put Magda between the shopkeep and myself and, be like, oh, what does this potion do? And I kind of, like, pull 2 at the same time and, like, swirl it around and only put 1 back.
Why are you stealing from your parents?
I'm secret shopping.
I need you to make a sleight of hand check.
This Vixu apparently doesn't know who he is, so...
Right.
Yeah. Can I give myself guidance?
Yeah, probably.
That's gonna be 32.
32.
$47.
As you take these 2 potions at once, you swirl around and slip one back while kind of keeping the other hidden in your sleeve with a fairly natural looking like hand motion. It doesn't look like you've slipped anything away. You notice a glint out of the corner of your eye in the corner where the walls and the ceiling all meet at once.
Mm-hmm.
And just a tiny golden flash. Nothing happens.
Mm.
But you, being Noah Borago, know that your image has just been captured.
That's amazing.
And Christine will know about it in about 20 minutes.
Headcanon.
That is
Headcanon. This is always how Noah comes home.
Yeah.
And this is always how they know that he's home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He tests the new shopkeep.
Can I also, you said there were like some lightly magic items?
Very lightly, yeah.
Okay, like, can you just like give me like 2 or 3?
Well, definitely not a bucket of endless water.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Probably like some nicer knives that are like something you'd save up for that have an enchantment to hold their edge, so they never need to be sharpened. Definitely some like chemistry tools that are like super exact on measurements. A lot of them are like either household objects that have a little something to them, like a self-stirring pan, which I wish.
How can we break the game using that?
Use it to create a maelstrom by just putting it at the bottom of the ocean and let it slowly stir the ocean.
There we go.
Over hundreds of years.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. A lot of them are household objects. The more interesting and less homey ones, probably. There is a set of throwing knives that they're not sold in a set, but there's several throwing knives available that are returning knives.
Vaxel done. Vaxel
Yeah.
done.
Yeah,
Vaxel.
I know. And there is essentially would be a speed loader for a revolver that basically all you have to do is put it like near bullets and it will pull them into position, and then you lock them into the gun.
That's amazing.
So you don't have to clip them into like a moon clip or the actual speed loader. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna pull the same thing again. I'm gonna pick up 2 of those knives and I'm just gonna throw one immediately at the wall.
Shopkeep? Oh.
Just at the wall.
At the
wall. And I want to see it like return, and before it returns, the other one slips down my sleeve.
Okay. Are you trying to hide that you're throwing a knife from the shopkeep?
Oh no.
Okay.
No,
you're
I'm not.
fucking hucking it.
Yeah, I'm hucking it because that's gonna distract him.
Okay, good. Yeah, you just and Noah is good enough with a lot of weapons that I don't think I need to make you roll, but just
My
for the
dexterity is 20.
just for the sake of a maybe critical failure, I need you to roll just an attack.
16.
16, okay. Yeah, you just thud it into a post in the wall, and the shopkeeper immediately, like, you see his fur stand up, and you see him reach down to his waist, almost like he's going to fence or draw a wand that's on his hip. Make a sleight of hand check again.
Okay, guidance.
Can I have found my stuff and real quick come back and try to run interference with the shopkeep? There is actually another thing I'm looking for. I can't find it. I need to talk to the shopkeep to see if I can find it.
Okay, Ben, you can have advantage. As Christmas, like, pops in, is like, oh my god!
Both of them were well under 10, but it's a 30 total.
30 total. You see another golden flash from a different angle.
Oh, I'm sorry, 32.
32. Still see the golden flash from a
Yeah.
different angle. The Vixu, like, he's got his hand on his wand. He's like, sir, I would prefer that you
I have a
ask
question real
before.
quick.
Hold
for
on,
you.
I would.
Okay.
I was just testing the merchandise, wanted to make sure it worked.
That's fine. Just please ask.
Oh, Noah,
ahead
you're
of
here
time.
too. Hey, question for you real quick. Do you still have that that wand that you bought from that shopkeeper that one time using money? The Druidcraft one. You still got that?
Yeah, I still got that.
Cool. Can I just see it for a second? I'll give it right back.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you. I will take it.
Yep, there you
Cool.
go.
And then I'm gonna go up to the shopkeep and I'm like, look, let me show you what I'm doing right here, because this is pretty cool. And I pull out like a carved piece. It's like one of the pieces of ivory that I used for legend lore, but there's now like a carving, like a relief in it almost of like a creeping rose bush.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be like, look, so I'm using this as a spell component, right? And then I'm gonna start casting Druidcraft to make it so there's actually like a rose like vine like creeping around the ivory itself, and I'm just like, this is gonna make it so that when I actually do the spell itself, there's gonna be some extra elements that I can bring in. Right, so that's what, you know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be real cool. So I'm like, clear.
While he's
trying to-
doing that, I'm
Yep.
going to come around the side of Christmas, and I'm going to just very gently cast guidance on myself and slip that wand out of the holster that he has on his side.
The Vixu?
Yeah.
I'm also going to slip the wand of Druidcraft in its place while Noah's doing this.
Guys.
My God.
I have not abused this all campaign.
Let me say something here. I cannot give you advantage because you are taking something he has his hand on.
But I'm
That's fine.
replacing it.
I know.
So we're
That's why
both
I'm gonna
rolling.
let you. I'm gonna let.
It's Indiana Jones rules.
I'm gonna let you both do a straight roll. I need
yeah.
Ben first to see if he can take the original one.
Do I get guidance because I gave it to myself?
Yes.
Okay.
I like how Taiylor said yes with a hint of "don't fucking push it."
No,
that's a
please
4.
push it.
Oh,
That means
thought
I
was
can
a 1.
retaliate.
That's gonna be a 29.
Okay. Koop, go ahead and roll yours.
So I am going to roll, but based on what the roll is, before you tell me what happens, I might use
Flash
my
of Genius.
new-
Sorry, 34.
Okay.
So before you tell me whether I'm going to see what the roll is, and then I might use a new bard ability that I have here. So okay. So I'm going to expend a use of bardic inspiration to add a d12 onto my own roll.
Hot. This is such good use of all these feats.
Oh, that's good. Okay, 10 plus 3 plus 15 is 28.
Okay. So this little Vixu just looks down at this beautifully carved piece of basically ivory scrimshaw, and you showing off this like idea, and like I assume you're presenting it like, can I get your input? What do you think? Like, and he's so like interested because this is like part of a spell that he personally loves. He loves legend lore. And so he's just enthralled to the point that he does not feel his own wand leave his hand. And he certainly doesn't notice the completely different grip on this new wand as it is placed into his hand. And he already had the first one like halfway out of the holster, and he like reholsters it, not noticing a damn thing, and is like focused in on this piece of ivory scrimshaw. And he's like, no, that's kind of, yeah, I like that. That's like, what are you thinking is going to be added? And then at that moment, you all hear, put it back. As the front door splits open and Christine Borago is standing there.
I immediately look at her and I'm like, how are you training these people? This is not great.
He's brand new. He literally started a week ago.
I take the wand back out of his pocket.
And I just very like Jack Sparrow with the coin, like flip the wand out of my fingers and hand it back to him.
And you see his shoulders slump.
Oh, it's okay, don't worry.
Like so bamboozled and dejected, and he looks at Christine. He's like, I don't.
I also take the knife back out and put it on the counter, and then I take the potion back out and also put it on the counter.
And he just watches you do this with his hands raised, like,
No, it's good. Here, Noah, here's your wand back. Thank you, though. That actually did accomplish something. I appreciate it. Look, kid, here's the thing. I'll let Noah go deal with
I
Christine.
checked my wand. Is
Meanwhile,
it actually my wand?
Yeah. No, I'm giving you the actual, the right one back.
Thank you.
But then I'll just turn to this Vixu and just be like, look, it's always more than a one-man operation. They're always going to try to... And then I'll just, like, spend time describing to him how these sort of, like, things work. Because this is literally just what Christmas did the whole time he was with the crows.
Yeah,
so I'll try to teach the shopkeep a little something.
Yeah. And as you're, like, instructing him and trying to make him feel a little better by, like, hey, this is how you can catch this and this and this, he's just sitting there looking, like, so dejected, like, I'm gonna get fired. And Christine just strides in, and she comes up to Noah, and she's like, come down here.
Yeah.
And do you lean down to her level?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure she's gonna smack me or something.
She doesn't slap you, but she does like a kind of thing, which is not bad, but with her, it's like, it's on the verge of doing damage. And she's like, stop it. You do this every time you come home.
Well, get better.
He just started.
I'm talking about you. What's the security system? You got people flashing me in the corner? What are you gonna do 20 minutes after the fact?
Look, I apologize. I stepped on a vent and it blew up my skirt. I didn't try to do that.
Fuck off. But
this shop actually has central air.
Yeah.
After Christmas is done talking to this poor shopkeep, I'm just going to slip him like 2 gold and be like, I am so sorry for them. Please.
Oh, thanks for the assist,
for your
Magda.
trouble. Shut the fuck up! I am so sorry for them.
And he looks at you like, just... Thanks.
Take it. It's yours.
And he like looks over at Christine, who's still like chewing Noah out, and he's like, Mrs. Borago, am I fired? And she looks over, she's like, oh, Nate, no, honey, you're fine. You're still learning, and you didn't get a chance I didn't get a chance to tell you about this freaking kid. She's like, Nate, this is my son, Noah. And he looks at you, kind of like,
oh, hey there.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like, and this is Magda, and this is Christmas, and this is Foostrak, and that's Sala, and that's Walter. Is Jasper here?
And Jasper.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jasper.
Yeah.
And she's like, and the little guy back there, that's Jasper. These are my kids. Except Noah's my actual kid.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can take credit for all of us. It's fine.
What? What, Ben?
Oh, I said, and I am a problem.
Yes, you are.
Why would
Now
you admit it?
I would be so grateful if you guys would just get the fuck away from my shopkeeper.
But I wanted to actually look
I'm not blaming you, honey. It's just wherever Noah goes, you guys show up, and wherever you guys go, Noah shows up. So I'll just take you all out of here.
But I need to, I want to shop.
What do you need, darling?
I don't know. I just wanted to look around.
Well, I mean, you think about what you need, and I'll get it for you.
I have a general list of stuff that I wrote down. So Noah looked at all the potions, so there wasn't really anything helpful. There were no
higher tier.
Okay. Are there any sort of shields around in here? Shield.
That is yes and kind of. So there are like some types of weapons in here, not a whole lot. A lot of them are fairly basic. One thing that you'll spot that is like near weapons that strikes you as like, is that like a shield or a buckler or something? You see this like basically just big enough to cover like from here to the tips of the fingers. It looks like a buckler that has kind of like a spiraled pattern on the front of it.
I'll point at that and be like, what does this one do?
Oh, that's a fun toy. You want to see?
Yeah.
Okay. And Christine goes and like she gets a little step stool and she pulls down this little thing. And you can see she's being kind of ginger about the way she holds it, and she gets a hold of the handle as quickly as she can. But she brings it over to you. She's like, okay, give me your arm. And she like slots it onto your arm, and you notice instead of a buckler, which you actually hold in front of your hand, she pushes it almost down the length of your forearm. And you see that there is a sort of loop that runs up and goes around the main part of the hand. And she's like, okay, so when you're ready, just do this. The second you do that, the entire shield splits and sends out curved blades that are about, probably extend 1.5 feet up and down in each direction. A circular shield of curved blades.
Fuck.
And you find that if you mess with that wire, they will seal together against each other or split back apart. Sort of like opening and closing your fingers.
Some God of War shit right there.
Kinda. Yeah. That's the inspiration.
How much is this? Because this is fucking badass as hell.
Well, honey, for you. Oh gosh. I mean, it's not a big enchantment, but how much you got?
I would rather not say.
Well, I think, considering that it's kind of a prototype, and I would like somebody to try it out for me, I'll let it go for 500 gold.
I will consider that. Okay, and then I was also looking for poison antidotes, anti-poison stuff, if that's not around.
If you're looking for a general antidote, I assume that's kind of what you're going for.
Yeah.
God, how much does an antidote cost?
I want to make a potion called anti-goat now, where like it just keeps away goats.
Yeah. Oh, that's
great.
It's the antidote to Cusco's poison.
Yeah.
It turns goats into people.
Turns goats.
No, the worst kind of people.
Yeah.
Goat people.
Assholes who chew on everything.
Mm-hmm. There's like eating poison ivy in the corner.
Oh no.
Why's my mouth itchy?
A general antidote.
Oh, antidote. Sorry.
Is gonna run you these are specialized antidotes. I'm gonna say those run about 100 gold each.
Okay, how many are there?
They'd be able to supply you with 3.
I look over at the rest and I'm like, anybody want to split some costs with me for general
Oh my
poison
God.
antidote?
No.
Magda, why do you act so poor all the time? And I just put 800 gold on the counter and like, come on, let's go.
Oh my god.
And Christine, like, she's like, okay, cool. Well, if he's paying, and she like grabs up the antidotes and she like shoves them in your bag. And she gets up and she says, okay, now to get the rest of the stuff that this here shield does, you're gonna need to attune to it. But once you do, basically, and she will explain to you the process that is as a reaction. When you are hit with any kind of attack, as long as you can see your attacker, you can basically shoot a blade back at them as a counterattack.
Ooh, that's dope as hell.
Yeah. And these blades, they spin and they come back. They're basically little boomerang blades. They will cause... They will cause a
42d7.
No. They will cause 2d6 slashing damage.
Okay.
And
That's not terrible.
if for your knowledge, as a blood hunter, if you were to make this shield your like right weapon, it would add on whatever right damage you have as well.
Yeah. It's 2d6 plus
2d6
like,
slashing
whatever.
damage. I believe it's plus dex.
Okay.
It's not a ton, but it's a counterattack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my defender rapier only does 1d8 plus whatever.
You can use the shield as your main weapon if you so choose.
Yeah. Well, how much does it add to my AC? Because that's what I was.
It adds the same as a normal shield would, which is +2.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you be able to send me that in writing somewhere?
Yes.
Possibly?
Send
Okay.
me a message and I will get back to you with the details.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to
My
get some
favorite
more
thing
healing
is just
potions.
making Magda feel terrible by like
Yeah.
throwing money around her.
Magda
It's
does.
great.
Magda shoves 800 gold back at Noah and is like, there, page back.
No, don't need it.
You had that the whole
don't-
time?
I do.
Good lord.
I'm sorry. I didn't grow up super fancy like you, Reginald.
That's a 40 to sneak it back into her pocket.
Unless you roll a nat 20, you're not noticing. Please give me a perception check.
It's probably not gonna.
Now at Amazon and Barnes & Noble near
It
you.
was really close. It was a 19.
Oh.
Plus 2, it's a 22.
No.
She like hands it to me just immediately back into her pocket. Perfect.
Yep. It like goes up one sleeve and out the other back into her bag. Yeah.
Wow.
Whereas Christine takes the remaining 800 gold and hands it over to the little Vixu Nate, and he puts that away. She's like, "Okay, anybody else need anything?"
I've got potions, so you guys don't have to worry about that.
Okay, like good potions or like just.
Yeah, like good potions. What do you think I am?
I mean like more than general.
Yes.
Like okay.
Yes, more than basic. Yes.
Okay.
What do you
Yes.
think I am? Some basic bitch?
I was
Right.
just asking.
I'm practically a god.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, Christine says.
Do you know what the anti-poison stuff would be called in D&D Beyond? Is it just?
I don't think there is a thing.
Didn't find
Oh,
one,
damn it.
but based on what I could see, we'll just homebrew it real quick and say
Okay.
that all normal potion rules apply. Like, you can
Okay.
take it yourself as a bonus action, you can give it to somebody else, or feed it to somebody else as an action. It removes the poison condition.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because I didn't want to run into another situation when we like fucking Asdala where we
poison.
were all poisoned. Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
you are going to go fight her dad, which is where she got that ability from.
I
so.
know. So
Speak for yourselves. I never got poisoned.
I never did either. But
It's interesting because there's actually an antitoxin that costs 50 gold, but that gives you advantage on saving throws against poison for an
Yeah.
hour. So I think antidote being 100 gold is actually like that's spot on for what that does.
Pretty much.
It's like I'm a dungeon master.
Yeah, it's like you play D&D or something.
Yeah, there are antitoxins available if you would like one, but yeah.
Nah.
Alright.
I'm okay with my purchase. So.
Anti-fugu fish toxins.
I'm gonna turn to Christine and be like, "So did you finish my box?"
Yeah. Why do you think I called you here?
Okay, let's go. I want to look at it.
All right.
Let's go
Well,
see it.
your dad's already fired up the grill. Let's fucking go. And
Did
she
Christine build a
That's
TARDIS for Noah?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
better. Yeah.
I lean
Whoa.
back in the store as we're
Whoa.
leaving. I lean back in the store as we're leaving, and I'm just like, pay attention. And I leave.
He takes off his little vest and puts it on the counter.
Oh, that's so sad. I don't care.
Anyway, yeah, Christine
It'll be fine.
leads you guys up the street. The Borago house is not in town necessarily.
It's in
It
suburbia.
is. There are
Yeah.
several sort of, I guess you could call them suburbs. I typically call them wards of cities like this. Reese's Ridge is one of the higher neighborhoods. And the Borago house sits on the eastern edge, at the very edge of the city itself. So you guys have like a big yard and like
Mhm.
woods to play in and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The house itself is not as crazy as you might expect it to be, considering these are basically the Lysander Courages of the current world. The house itself is like somebody took a cottage and just kept all the fun, homey things, but made it gigantic. So there is like I kind of want it to almost be like a Hobbit house, but giant. Where it has like the round front door. It has the kind of almost tunnel-like hallways that are rounded at the tops, with all these like support beams. As Christine
I'm
brings
so
you,
mad at you right now for reasons that will be clearer later, but it's okay. Continue.
okay,
No, go on.
is this another brains think alike kind of thing?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I think I know what you're mad at. Yeah. You guys get up to the front of it, and it has like tall, like French style windows in the front. The house itself is not like a Hobbit Hill house. It is a proper like stone giant. Some of the windows have stained glass in them, with like fun little stories from around the world. The front door has a oops, kidding. Oh god. The front door has a little round window in it that has a bee in stained glass. And the entire place is surrounded by like one of those low cobblestone walls. The workshop, Noah, sits under the house. And it has a way bigger footprint than the house itself.
Mhm.
So a lot of parts of the yard are over hidden hatches, which is how they get big projects out. So it just looks like normal grass until they flip it up and like put down a ramp.
My God.
There's a couple strange machines out in the yard, like not in the like junkyard way where they're just scattered around and overgrown. But there is also a geothermal generator that sits on the property because there are hot springs nearby, and the Boragos Christine is one of the eminent electrical engineers in the world currently, so she knows how to use it. Your huge like generator, geothermal, whatever, supplies power for about half the neighborhood. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like that much because Christine is very good at hiding like wires and conduits and all that, and it's all underground, which is revolutionary for like electrical everything at this time. But yeah, there's just a gigantic fucking machine sitting in the yard that lets off steam every so often. But yeah, you guys, as Christine brings you up to the front, she pulls her little key ring off her belt, but it's not a normal key. It's more of like a radio key, if you want to compare it to modern technology, where she just pushes it against the door and the door clicks open. And she puts her keys back down, and you can already smell wood, like charcoal and wood smoke going in the backyard, which is a very common thing here. You guys have barbecues like every other week whenever you're home.
There's like probably like a cobblestone patio and a fire pit and a pergola with like wisteria growing across it and shit like that. And like a couple of gazebos. Yeah. Just in case you needed an extra one.
Yeah. And you can already smell cooking from around the neighborhood. They've invited everybody. So it's about to be a potluck. It's about to be a proper fucking dinner. You can already see that there are some people coming down the street, like several people underneath like a long table, like bringing it along. Other people bringing small tables and chairs, whatever they can spare. For you guys who are not familiar with how the Boragos and Reese's Ridge operate, there's quite a bit of activity going on around you. All strangers you've never fucking met. And all of them talk with the same fucking accent. And they're just like, "Oh, hi there, Chuck. How you doing?" And like, yeah, it's Midwestern families getting together for a neighborhood barbecue. But Christine opens up the front door, and you can see that inside it's fairly calm. Like the only other person in here at the moment is Chips, and he like hobbles his way around a corner, and you see scampering after him is a weird tiny puppy with overlong pointed ears, overlong pointed ears, overlong like floppy ears, but he's got some strange like stripes through his coat on the sides, but he's just tripping on his own ears. He looks like a little bloodhound, basically. But Chips comes hobbling out, and he's like, "Oh, hi, guys, come here. And he, like, grabs the first person who walks in, other than his wife, which is probably Noah, and then grabs Magda and grabs Christmas, and,
I'm gonna lean down to Chris and be like, so we give up on birds and we moved on to killing larger animals now?
It's not allowed in the lab with him.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks clumsy, so.
Yeah, it's not allowed near stairs either. Not until its legs get longer.
What is it?
I don't know.
No, yeah, that checks out.
Listen, when your dad asks for pets, I can't say no. But I set some ground rules this time.
Okay.
She stays up here whenever he's working. All right. Anyway, you can tell, like, he's probably broken the rule a few times, and she hasn't been able to stop him. But for the moment, the puppy looks fine. It doesn't look like it's been burned or stepped on or anything else. But yeah, Chips welcomes you guys in, and he's like, "Okay, so as soon as we knew that you guys were going to become, as soon as Christine started working on this box thing, we were like, hey, we're going to invite everybody, and we're going to do like a big, welcome home, bud, kind of, potluck thing. I think I ran the local butchers out of meat, and I'm pretty sure the harbor master's going to have to order in a lot of stuff to make up for what we got. We got way too much. And then the neighbors are bringing more. So,
great.
Did
you guys I can't remember, does Foostrak eat meat? Just not beef.
Yeah, he doesn't eat beef. It's a little too close to cannibalism for him.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, cool. So you invited everybody?
Everybody wanted to come.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And actually, on that note of the whole meat thing, Chips turns to Foostrak. He's like, and just so you know, I'm keeping the beef separate from everything else. There's pork, there's chicken, there's going to be a couple other small birds, quails, that kind of thing. We're even doing some of those, what are those really tiny chickens called?
Cornish hens.
Also
yeah, those.
Chickens. Okay.
I was going to say little chickens, so...
Yeah.
No, because that's what I said.
So,
Baby chickens.
real quick, just so that I'm comprehending this. Like, the entire town of Reese's Ridge is going to be at this little shindig that we're throwing. And by little shindig, I mean enormous barbecue dinner.
It's not a town, it's a neighborhood.
Okay. So, but it's like a block party, basically, is what you're describing to me.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any closets in your house?
A lot, yeah.
Cool. Where's the nearest one?
And he points to a wardrobe that sits next to the door.
Is that going to be important for the next 24 hours?
Why suppose people are going to put code? What do you need exactly?
Cool. Magda, come with me. Can we find somewhere quiet, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can go down to the workshop. It's pretty quiet right now.
What is this? I'm scared.
It's okay. I'll just go find somewhere quiet away from where the chaos is going to be. Does Magda come with?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I know you've been kind of dreading coming here for a long time. And there's going to be a lot of people here. And I know that's not really your scene. Okay? So, and while he's talking, he's pulling out this carved little piece of ivory that he hands to Magda, and he's drawing magic sigils in the air, and he pulls out a little piece of marble, rock, hands it to you, pulls out this little silver spoon, and suspends it in the air for a second, and then takes the marble back and takes the ivory back, and they all kind of just float in the air around each other, and then he closes it, puts his hands around it, and opens them up, and there's this tiny door that starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then he just sets it down, and it's this dark, black wooden door that's circular on the top. There's a carving through it of a rose bush, but near the window that's set in the top, which is stained glass of a Triskelion, the carvings of the roses actually are real, and they're black. If you need to get away, just go in here. My decorating is a little bit better than Walter's. And then I'll just walk away.
I'm just gonna peek inside really quick. I'm just gonna
So the way I was going to initially describe this was the interior is kind of like a hobbit hole, but if it had higher ceilings, and there's things like stained glass windows of little fairy tales and stuff like that.
I thought that's what you were mad at me for.
Yeah. Anyway, but
I'm sorry.
When you first walk in, the first thing that you would probably be surprised by is how much plant life and water there is in the main area. Because you just go into this enormous high-ceilinged chamber that has water features everywhere, actual little ponds built into the floor. The wood that grows along the sides of the walls has plant life coming off it. Instead of lamps, there's these purple and green glowing orbs that are magic. All of the walls are painted this emerald green, and it's dim, but you can still see everywhere. And some of the lights actually like float around like the actual area there. But when you look up, there's just a giant glass ceiling that looks like there's fog like rolling over it. And there's this ambient light just like coming in from there. That's the entrance.
I'll kind of just look around.
Yeah, that's the entrance.
Yeah. I'll kind of just look around for a second and I'll just go, folksy little fuck, and then I'll just close the door.
Okay. The Black Rose door remains, as I will be referring to it from now on.
Hell yeah.
At least for the next 24 hours.
Yep.
Welcome to Christmas's magnificent garden.
Christmas, yeah. I was going to say atrium, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That is basically what it is, yeah.
The magnificent
That's the atrium.
Christmas's awesome atrium.
Yeah. The holiday atrium.
Also, Christmas's awesome atrium, if you just say the acronym, it's caw, which is what a crow sounds like.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. There's so many things. Alright, so yes. I assume you guys head back up at some point. Noah, you immediately get swept up in like a bunch of neighbors, just like, hey, bud, oh my gosh, you're so big, you've been gone so long, and like, you do
Literally
notice...
left home like a year ago.
Yeah.
I am the same size.
Yeah, I assume with all the fighting you've been doing, Noah's bulked up a little bit.
Oh yeah, I guess a tiny bit.
But
Not
like,
enough to raise his strength
big,
score.
But you've gotten
You've gotten athletic.
Uh-huh.
But yeah,
I can now walk without breathing hard.
Yeah. But you see the Yorks, you see the Hubbles, you see the Mars, you see the Charlestons, and one of the first people to engage with you beyond just the "oh my god, look at you" kind of thing is your second cousin, Matilda Borago.
Matilda's here?
Yeah. You can, and now that you think about it, you're like, oh shit, I did see the Tulip's Revenge in the harbor.
Uh-huh. Oh my god, I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, she approaches you, and she's a gnome. She is, I believe Christine is a halfling, but her like side of the family is kind of mixed gnome and halfling. And if you remember, she has an enchanted leg.
Yes, she has a peg leg.
She does, and it's made of
gingerbread.
But she's a little bit less hobbly than Chips, because she's actually like made her prosthetic nice. And she approaches you, and she's got like this long like sailor's jacket with the double-breasted buttons. She doesn't wear like a flashy hat, but she does have like a simple like tricorn. And you can see that she's probably gotten rid of most of her weapons just to appear not unfriendly in the neighborhood, but you know there's gonna be some knives and maybe a gun hidden under there somewhere. But she comes up, and she, like, as high as she can reach, she kind of like smacks your forearm, and she's like, well, no, how the hell are you?
Oh, hi there, Tildy. How you doing? Or
God.
where are you going by these days? Are we still doing Tildy or Stumpy, or what are we working with?
Well, look, I hate all of those nicknames.
Oh,
but
okay.
We can go with Tilda if you so prefer.
Okay. Yes, Tildy is fine. So
Jesus.
Yeah. How you doing? How's your gingerbread?
Well, got eaten a few times. For sure. Well, gnawed upon, I think is the better word, because it's magic. But things are going well. Business is going very well. I'm actually doing legal business now.
Oh, you're a a lawyer? A gingerbread lawyer?
No, I'm not a pirate anymore. I'm a privateer.
Are those different?
Privateers are employed sailors who are often
One's illegal
also
and one's
pirates.
Privateers
so
are
you
the
get-
00 agents
so you
of
get-
the ocean.
Privateers
Paid
are the
for-
mercenaries of sailors.
Gotcha. So you get paid for stealing, murdering. Gotcha.
Only when it's absolutely necessary.
It's like
but
a
no.
W-2, but you're still doing what you like.
Yeah, it's more of a 1099 situation.
Yeah,
now.
comes with benefits. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm working for the oh god, I hate the name of it though. The Kit and Caboodle Trading Company.
Oh, you're not on the Tulips Revenge anymore?
Oh no, I am. We're just working for them.
Oh, I can't believe Captain Blackjack Gum was okay with being part of that.
That third hyphen is not supposed to be there. Or that
This
second
not-
hyphen is not supposed to be there.
This entire thing sounds like we're now playing Candyland, the
Yes.
tabletop role-playing game.
Yeah.
A little bit.
She says, well, actually, he died.
Oh,
Yeah, cannon, straight through the face. Not a
Oh,
cannonball, a cannon.
a whole cannon.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Poor old man. He was
Man.
so turned around in the storm that he didn't. You'd think you'd see a cannon rolling at you, but apparently he didn't.
how did it get off the floor directly into his face?
Well, we have cannons on the top deck that are secured, but the rope's broken. Just took him right off
Wow.
the side.
Well, I mean, that'll happen.
Yep. Well, I'm first mate now, so that's nice.
Oh, cool.
By the way,
I love
Um,
small talk. This is so much fun.
right? Yeah.
Mm.
It's ridiculous small talk though.
Yeah.
Said, by the way, I hope you don't mind, but Toby and I might be a bit of a thing now.
Is that so?
Is that okay?
I mean, is he okay with it?
I mean, he's interested.
How interested are we talking?
Like, maybe went out to dinner a couple of times. That's it. Nothing more.
Hang on. I'm reading to catch up. Oh. I never would have, excuse the term, I never would have pegged you for a person who dated humans. Thought they might be a little out of your reach.
What can I say? I like a tall man.
Mm.
And I mean, when you're a gnome, that's most men.
True.
But for the sake of my sanity, and I think everybody else's, we'll just drift away from this conversation.
I do want to.
Noah's just fucking
do the
staring
whole
daggers at her.
Was Magda able to hear all that?
Well, they weren't being quiet. Everyone
Okay.
here is very loud spoken.
I'm gonna go over to Noah then after she walks away and be like, "Who's Toby?"
Toby.
Apparently nobody I need to worry about anymore.
Was that like I guess it's kind of intrusive to ask, but like I never really did ask
That
your
sounds like you.
I never really did ask your deal. Like I always figured
My
that
deal?
Yeah. I've never seen you express interest in anybody.
Oh, you're curious about which way I,
Yeah.
butter my garlic bread. Yeah.
Fine, without garlic in there.
Garlic bread.
God damn it.
I mean,
Oh.
I'm not interested in any of you idiots.
I didn't
Are you jealous?
think. No, I was just curious.
No, I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, I'm fucking not doing guys ever again. Absolutely not.
They're terrible.
So-
You're correct.
Yeah.
Especially that one.
I just
Yeah,
kind of figured
especially-
you weren't. I just kind of figured you weren't into anybody. But...
Well, there's a time in everybody's life when, you're hanging out with a guy after practice and he tells you that you're really cool and you take it to heart. And then one day he gives you his class ring, but then he just fucks off with some bitch pirate over here.
And your
Magda,
cousin too.
Magda,
Oh my
you
God.
see somebody step up behind Noah, who kind of stops, hearing some of this. And Magda, what you see before Noah does is a on the not super tall, but on the taller side, sort of well-defined muscles, athletic, man who's probably about Noah's age. He has slightly longer on the top, red hair that's all pushed to one side, and it's shaved down on the sides. And he has a very nicely styled beard, it's trimmed in a kind of becoming but not overblown style. It's got some angles into it. And
Is he human?
He's human.
Okay.
And you see he how old is Noah? Remind me.
I don't know, 22 or something.
I think he's 21.
I don't remember.
So you will see that he is wearing kind of the medieval equivalent of a Letterman jacket. A letter jacket. I'm sorry.
He was on David Letterman.
David Letterman jacket. He's wearing,
you can call it a Letterman jacket too.
It's so a letter jacket. That you recognize because it's very familiar to you, the symbol of the Annika Academy on his chest. And you recognize this is the jacket of the people who play kind of so
Rugby.
sports in these magical academies are also magical. He doesn't play fucking Quidditch, but it is a magic fueled almost like handball or what's the thing?
He plays fantasy lacrosse.
Yeah.
Lacrosse, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, it is basically a magic assisted lacrosse kind of thing going on. You know that sport. You've seen a few games. Cal probably.
It's called LaCroix.
LaCroix. But you see him step up behind Noah as you guys are talking, and you hear him go, "Hey, Noah."
I stop mid-sentence. Just slowly swivel around. Oh, hi. There. How's, hi.
Hi. It's been a while. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you're doing some pretty big, crazy things.
Yep. Sure am. My life's pretty cool.
Yeah. He's
too bad there's some people missing out on it.
Yeah, he blew up a train.
Yeah, and he
you
leans.
blow up a train?
He leans slightly because Noah's horns are in the way, and he looks at you. He's like, "Who are you?"
She's nobody, and I just push her away. I'm
I'm trying to help you.
I kind of turn to her and Magda, care about you most days. I don't want your advice when it comes to men. Thank you. Okay, bye.
I need to share something with the stream.
Oh no.
Harris Gale just shared.
What?
He plays LaCroix, but it's not a very tasteful game.
Awful. Oh my god. Jesus.
I say Badoom Tish. That's pretty very good.
That's a AAA pun, I'm not gonna lie.
Damn. Not only was that a burn, that was a damn good pun. All right. Anyway, what the fuck was happening?
Oh yeah, just like Magda, you're okay most days. Your advice in men is not great. Go away.
I wasn't trying to give you advice. I was just trying to back you up and be like, you know,
Is this a bad time?
No, it's not a bad time. She was just leaving.
Fine. Fucking see if I help you do anything else. Fuck you, Toby. And I walk away.
And it's just like, have I met her before? What?
Probably not. She hates everybody. That's just normal.
Especially you, Toby.
Fuck you, Toby. Yeah.
God.
But he looks down at you. He says, so Matilda already talked to you. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? I can't hear you.
He said Matilda already talked to you. Yeah.
Yeah, she said something.
I mean, I didn't want to like do anything crazy without making sure it was okay with you.
I'm not sure what you want me to say.
Well, I mean, I feel like we didn't leave it off at a very good place, and
no, I'd say when I invited you to come travel around the world with me, but you wanted to go play magic sports instead.
I had a scholarship.
I have more money than God. You don't need the scholarship.
Yeah, but there's other stuff there too that are like, you know, career things.
Like Matilda?
No. Very rarely. Not very often. I'm listening. I'm training to be basically a battle mage. Like
With a ball and a stick?
No, that's just the sport I play on the side. I mean, if I become a professional athlete, that's even better. But, like, it's still...
Oh my god, you guys are killing me.
This is so uncomfortable.
You're welcome. Now you know how I feel every time any of these idiots start yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Or when Koop starts crying. That makes me very uncomfortable.
You have the power to end this in an instant if you wanted to.
No, this is fine.
Okay.
Nukes Reese's Ridge.
Yep. I just take a deep breath. I'm like, Toby, whatever makes you happy is fine with me. Go live your life and don't worry about what I'm gonna do. You don't need my permission to go do what you want to do, so just go.
I can hear the epilogue stuff.
I know.
And he's like, okay.
Magda calls from across the room, walk away, Toby!
She's trying to wingman from across the fucking yard.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Toby and why are we fucking him?
I do, however, before he leaves, I reach up and undo a chain that I've had around my neck that nobody's ever seen and pull his class ring out that he had on it, and I hand it back to him.
I'm gonna say it. He takes it back. He's like, thanks. I was gonna ask.
What shithead? Fuck this guy.
Let me look at my spell list real quick.
I
was gonna say the entire party is behind Toby now.
Yeah.
glaring
The Zen
down
manga.
this fucking
Oh, yeah.
bitch with weapons out, just like, say the fucking word.
You guys will absolutely see Chips like standing near the grill with like tongs in one hand and a knife in the other, just like
I'm ready to counterspell whoever tries to counterspell whatever Noah's about to do.
okay.
I feel like at this point, Foostrak like wanders over next to Magda, and he has a bowl of barbecue pork rangoons, and he's just like, "What did I miss? What the fuck is going on? Who's this Toby guy?"
Fucking Noah's
I-
ex-boyfriend.
Oh, you baby back bitch!
I place a hand on his shoulder. No, I don't even place a hand on his shoulder. I'm like, you know what, Toby?
Word kill.
I'm done talking to you. And I snap my fingers, and I need him to make a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Is he gonna like permanently lose his vocal
I
cords or
hope this
something?
is banishment.
3.
Oh no, no, he is magically like space around him twists as he's just like consumed in darkness, and he appears 90 feet away, like outside of our property.
What spell is that?
Vortex warp.
Vortex
gonna say
warp.
vortex
Okay.
warp.
Yeah. You're close enough to like the edge of the yard that you basically just plop him outside the like fence ring with everything that he's got. I assume he had like a plate with him, and it like spills all over him, and he just drops like not far enough to hurt him, but like 5 feet to the ground, so he falls over very ungracefully. And you hear the like distant like as he like falls, and you see Matilda like see this happen, and she runs off toward the voice.
I just call after him like, enjoy your boyfriend, you ginger bitch.
Enjoy your ginger boyfriend, you ginger bitch.
And everybody clap.
Yeah, there is a genuine like round of applause. We're just all going among everybody.
Yeah,
and, like,
fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Toby's like parents are applauding.
He's that big of a shit.
The Larones are like, yes, queen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so this barbecue starts off with a little bit of a bang.
Ugh.
Yeah, immediately just
My heart
rumors
is palpitating.
everywhere.
I don't even know this fucking guy.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Like-
don't. It's fine.
No, like halfway through that, I was like, oh shit, am I hitting upon something that's like really personal? Yeah.
Can't imagine.
Can't imagine at all. I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about it.
It's totally fine. I do not care.
Okay, so the rest of you, like, you start, like, the main food starts to come out. People are, like, bringing around bowls of stuff that they brought. Like, oh my god, try my Waldorf salad. Try my Watergate salad. Try my potato salad. Try all the salads. Yeah, there's, like, 50 different kinds of slightly different salad here.
God.
Just so everybody knows. And some of the mashed potatoes have raisins in them because that's horrific, but a Midwestern thing. But yes. Things start off with that lovely bang where everybody's just like, yes, we all hate Toby. We're all friends.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
So, Noah, like some of your like former neighbors like come up to you and are like, I'm so glad you fucking got rid of him. Oh my god. Like typical small town, like join the winner kind of stuff going.
Yeah.
These are nice people, but they also love their gossip.
Yeah.
So
Checks out.
yeah.
It's also really funny because Toby didn't seem like a major asshole, just an asshole to Noah, and so everybody was like,
yeah,
oh, you're an asshole to Noah? Fuck you.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
I have a feel.
like
As we're
Callum
talking to
all
them,
over
I'm like,
again.
you know what? I think he was just using me for discounts.
That hoe.
And like several of the people like you grew up with are like, he absolutely was like, and they start telling you about times they're like, Toby was like, oh hey, my boyfriend works at this place, we can go get this for free, and like just spilling all kinds of shit that is like a decade old
That
because
nobody
that's
ever
what-
told me.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Yep.
Small town.
Magda's getting a little, like, drunk at this point, and she's like, yeah, you never trust a guy who goes to Annika. Like, never. Like, all those stupid pre-battle mages, they're all assholes.
And they're all trying to work for the Hesperian Empire. The fucking jerks.
Fuck the Hesperian Empire!
And, like, a lot of, like, people are like, yeah!
Yeah!
A bunch of the drunk,
My
like,
God.
beer drunk dads who already started before the party are just
Yep.
like, yeah! And, like, start singing, like, some fucking Caladrassian war song in very, very bad Lunar Elvish, which is essentially French.
Let's
and
be real. Most of those dads have been drinking Busch Light for the past 25 years every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when things are in, like, for these barbecues, they break out the good stuff.
Craft beer.
What is it? No, not
IPA.
that good.
Michelob Ultra.
Budweiser.
Yeah.
Oh, Budweiser.
Yeah, what is it? The champagne of beers. Is that what that's called?
No.
Yeah, they think it's
Wait.
fancy.
Really? Which
No,
one is the
Budwe-
champagne of beers?
Not Budweiser. I can't remember which one it is.
Oh,
Is it like Dos Equis or something like that?
No, I think it is Michelob
Sorry,
Ultra.
Miller High Life is the
Yeah.
champagne.
Miller
They break
High
out the
Life.
Miller High Life.
Gross.
Great. Not a sponsor.
The craft beers are for the younger people who actually have taste. Yes.
Except Toby.
Except Toby drinks the really shitty, cheap off-brand wine coolers.
Yeah, hate that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Fucking
All the-
Walmart
all
Seagram's
the-
bitch.
Yeah, all the moms drink like the good wine coolers. Yeah.
I try to ice Toby at some point. I go find a Smirnoff. I'm gonna try to ice Toby.
As soon as you said ice, I was like, "Oh fuck, he's gonna kill Toby!" But I was like, "No,
Fair.
Yeah.
We're all just taking
No, let's
turns
kill him.
taking pot
That's
shots
fine.
at this.
Yeah. I would say that shortly after he's dropped outside the wall and his notably older girlfriend goes out to get him, he like leaves in shame with his ruined leather jacket.
Good.
I can
Yeah.
teleport. I'll go find him.
I mean, sure.
Fucking murder him.
No, I'm good.
You do you, King. But anyway, as the party's like starting to kind of get going to where like everybody's made introductions to you guys, and you can't remember fucking anybody's name, but nobody expects you to. You guys being the kind of guests of honor of the Boragos, you're being plied with all kinds of foods and drinks and everything. And Magda, you in particular have caught the adoration of the younger children who are just enthralled by the edgelord bitch. And Foostrak, you have gotten the very youngest of the kids because they're like, oh my god, giant furry thing, let's hang off his horns.
I'm carrying around like a dozen of them on my arms and just like walking around.
Yeah. Christmas and Sala have kind of managed to attract the more like their age crowd, and is like a little chiller, whereas Noah is the center of all middle-aged mom attention.
I will say too that my parents 100% have a questionably dangerous child playset in their backyard.
Yes, they do.
Absolutely.
It's full
There's
of like
definitely-
splinters and stuff.
Oh no, not at all. It's just the
No, it's
crazy
just
things you can
too
do.
high, and the
Oh.
stairs are too steep, and the slides go a little too fast.
And the
Yeah.
rails aren't quite tall enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's definitely some chaperones over there who know how to cast like healing word.
Their fault.
I'm talking to all the teenagers and I'm showing them all my tattoos. Like,
Yeah.
I got
Like-
this one. This one
My
represents my just like going.
Yeah. Like the
Just totally lying too. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, I got this one down in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Yeah.
the teenagers are like, some of them are trying to pretend that they don't care, but it's not very often as a teenager you meet an actual like fucking cool person. And I consider, as just bumbling as Magda can be, she looks cool.
Yeah.
And so the teenagers are like, oh, cool. And they like can't look away.
Yeah.
Whereas the like younger teens, like the tweens and like 13, 14, they're so enamored with you. They're like, oh my god, this is the kind of person I want to be in my edgiest of edgelord days. Like, you've got all the girls with like the too much makeup because they don't know how to use it correctly yet, and like the streak dyed hair that's really bad.
Oh yeah, and like the cliff of foundation that ends right here.
Yeah. Whereas the older ones who are like better at makeup are like, oh, cool. I guess that's neat.
I take like another big drink of my drink, and I'm like, hey, you guys want to hear about how I killed the guy who's like defecting or betraying the AMC? I ripped his neck open with Kusarigama. It was pretty cool.
All of these kids are like, what? And they're just like, even the older teens are like, holy fuck, what? Like, you've killed people? And they're like, all over you. Oh
my god, I want to grow up to kill people.
This is the coolest Magda has ever been. Yeah. But anyway, the party kind of goes on for a while. Like, after a couple hours, like, as you guys get to, like, not later evening, but late enough in the evening that parents of, like, very young kids are like, okay, let's go. And then the actual, like, adult fun starts.
Yep, naked in the pool.
Yeah. There's
keys in the bowl.
Like,
keys in the bowl.
Well, yep,
oh god. There's like tiers of people that leave. There's people with very young children who don't have nannies because everybody's at the party. There are people with slightly older children that they're like, all right, you've had enough fucking sugar, and like take them home and then come back. And then the teens are like eventually like, oh, there's too many adults here, and they leave and like go home or go fuck off to do drugs or whatever they do. And eventually it's just kind of mostly adults. And it is
I love the like caricature understanding you have of teenagers. It is so funny to me.
They go off and do drugs or whatever.
That's what they did in my high school. That's all they did was drugs, nothing, or drinking or smoking. Nothing was definitely the most common.
Every so often,
yeah,
like Christmas will just go find like one of the party members, or like Jasper, Christine, like all those people, especially Christine. I think at one point, mostly to like scare Noah, Christmas and Christine actually like disappear together. But what he's doing is showing her the mansion and like looking for her input on like
showing her the mansion.
Showing her the mansion.
She's like, hey Christine, look at my dick.
But he's actually like looking for her input on like design elements for it and whatnot. So stuff like that. So he's just like, he's basically like doing little tours for people who like want to get away from the stuff, but he doesn't start until you get to that like everyone we don't really like has gone home already.
Yeah. I think Christine's major things for you is because this is a magical place. You don't have to be so concerned about like architectural stability because it's all magic-y. So what she will give you is basically some of her wildest dreams that she wished she could create in real life. And she tells you about the joys of things like... She tells you about the joys of things like cantilevers and like different like vaulted ceiling styles and different support styles that can be changed to be more artistic than structural and that kind of thing. And she also definitely advises you to put a hot spring in here if you haven't.
Oh yeah, all those little ponds right in the main area there.
Do you have the type of spring that like it creates little bowls as it drifts down further and further?
What is that place in China that has like
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that main most of the house is that main like atrium, but there are actually like specifically designed rooms for each of the party members themselves. That are like based on their tastes from what I've learned about them over a while. There's actually a barber shop in here as well, and the house's servants will like come like give you a shave or a haircut, like menial tasks like that aren't just serving food and cleaning. There's some of those like rich people comforts here as well.
It's like going to Oz.
Yeah.
What are they called? I really want to know now. They exist all over the world, but the Chinese ones are the most
the like rainbow pools.
No, not the rainbow pools. The ones that form like little small pools as they drift down. Huanglong National Park. That's in Sichuan, China. That's what I'm thinking of. But anyway, yes. So as being that we're running close to time here, let me bring everybody back together for some fun. In between like little tours after like the party has seen the Black Rose door and like everything inside, you're coming back topside with like Chips, who just saw it, and he's just raving about it. He's like, oh my god, like even Christine couldn't make something that pretty. I'm
never telling her you said that.
Well, my wife's thing is less form, more function, so I don't think it's an insult. But anyway, you guys are walking on and talking, and he eventually gets slapped upside the head by Christine. And at one point, you hear a voice. Actually, hold that.
Oh, that happens a lot.
Christmas.
Hold on, I know what music to start playing. Go ahead. You break away from Chips, and you're on your own for a second, like maybe looking for where did Sala go to, who's she talking to, when you feel a hand come to rest on your arm, just above your elbow.
Oh no. Oh no.
I know exactly who it is. I've been waiting for this day
Oh no.
weeks, and I am sure it is pale white skin, perfectly manicured nails, and if I turn, I see a green eye and a blue eye, and beautiful blonde hair.
Oh no!
As soon as you said Christmas first, I knew who it was. Oh god.
Dressed in a dress that you've never seen her wear the likes of before. She is in something that is still like draped and sheer around the sleeves and like the lower part of the gown. But you see that the bodice that she would sometimes wear is now, it has plates of armor to it. And a belt about her waist. And there is a wand on one hip and some kind of sword handle, but not a blade, on the other hip. And you see that on her brow she has a golden circlet with a silver piece at the front that comes down in a point. And she, at the moment, is even height with you. And she looks at you and says, Christmas, we need to talk.
What's the read that I'm getting on her?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
That was so cool to have Koop describe her instead of me. That made me feel so happy.
I've been waiting for this day for the longest time. Like, she could have showed up at any time. He wouldn't be surprised. He's been expecting it ever since he last talked to her. I'm going to throw... I have this new thing, so I'm going to use it again. I'm going to throw a little D12 on top of what I just rolled.
Whoa. D12.
Ooh, that's really good. Oh, shit. God. Yeah, the D12 Bardic Inspiration is ridiculous. So I rolled a 13, and then I got a 12 on the Bardic Inspiration. So that makes it a 25, plus my Insight, which is 7, so 32.
Oh my
nice. God. I don't think she can beat it without a natural 20, but let me see. Nope. The immediate surface emotion you get from her is maybe not what you might expect. I'm not sure.
I'm getting this from her. We need to... I mean, I can tell you what I'm expecting. What
do you expect?
I feel like she might be here to warn me of something.
The surface that you see is deep concern, on the verge of fear. And right below that is seething anger at just seeing your face.
Yeah.
She still has her hand on your arm just above your elbow. She says, You all need to leave. Now.
Oh no.
Oh,
no! Oh no!
I know what this is.
Oh god!
I know what this is. Oh no!
In Sylvan, I'll actually turn, so I'm actually like holding both of her hands, like in my own.
Mm-hmm.
I know how you feel about me. So I appreciate you giving us a bit of a warning. I'm not lying when I tell you that it is genuinely good to see you again. When I say I'm not lying specifically, I'm going to cast a spell, and saying I'm not lying in Sylvan is the component of the spell. As an action, I'm going to cast Glibness, which is an 8th level spell.
Holy shit.
It takes effect immediately. Until the spell ends, if I make a charisma check, I can replace the number I roll with a 15.
Shit.
And any magic that would determine if I am telling the truth or lying indicates that I am being truthful.
That is a beastly fucking spell.
Yeah.
I can no longer, with a 3rd level counterspell, if I have to roll for it, the lowest possible number I can get is a 23.
Nice.
This is some Emily Axford levels of bullshit. This charisma magic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all you need is, like, Gift of Gab and Modify Memory on the docket as well, and you're fucking Emily Axford.
I'm not trying to hide from her the fact that I'm casting a spell either. In fact, she probably knows what it is and what it does, but I know I need to start preparing.
As you are holding her hands, you can actually see that there are designs on her hands that have never been there before. They look almost like henna in a way, but they're not that sort of distinctive deep brown color. It looks like she painted liquid gold onto her hands. You've seen something like this once before on Hearson. These are basically arcane something, like either power or storage or something. She's ready to fight. But as she looks at you, and with your insight check, you can see that the last person she wants to fight right now is you. But another thing you notice, now that you are facing her in front, her dress is always like low cut. She keeps it off her shoulders. But you see nestled like right on her sternum, just barely peeking over the fabric, there's something there. Something blue-greenish. And it's never been there before. You've seen this woman naked. You know that's never been there before.
That's not where the piercings are, yeah.
Anyway, she looks you in the eye, and you can see that the sort of the green and blue have changed a bit since you went into Morrigan's service. The blue has become much lighter and the green much darker, to the point that the green is like a leaf green and the blue is like an ice blue. And she looks at you unblinking as she says, "You need to leave with all of your friends right now. Please."
How much time do I have?
Not much.
I immediately
Seconds.
I start scanning the crowd looking for Sawa. I know that she knows the message cantrip.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure she's lurking, seeing me, seeing what's going on.
Oh yeah, no, you spot her within seconds. She's not hiding, but you see her like, she's the only person not facing somebody, and she is staring directly at Veranestra. And for the first time, she does not look afraid of Veranestra. Those, like, golden eyes are focused, like, do I have to kill this bitch, basically.
I give her a nod and just try to, like, silently communicate that she needs to start warning people.
Sala will turn away from you. And you see her start pushing through the crowd. And as she goes, she taps Magda on the shoulder. She gets Foostrak. She gets Jasper. She gets Noah. She says, tell everybody to go. Tell everybody to go. Now. Now. Get everybody out.
I grab Chris and tell her, I'm like, you need to evacuate the entire house immediately.
She immediately, like, goes and takes a running leap at, like, one of the gazebos and stands up on the edge. She's like, okay, everybody get the fuck out. Drop everything.
I want to real quick just say to Veranestra, are they just here for me? Or are they here for Noah too?
They're here for him.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. I'm sorry for what's about to happen. And at that, Noah, as everybody is, like, starting to, like, back off and be like, what the fuck is happening? And Christine's like, get the fuck out. I rolled well enough that people, like, if Christine says go, we go. And they, like, start to run. But you hear from directly behind you.
No.
Real quick, Taiylor, just to add on to this, if shit goes down, everyone who's here has access to the mansion.
Okay.
So if they can't get away, there's a safe house in the basement. Quite literally.
Also, before shit starts going down, would my flush toxins action be able to work so that I'm not drunk anymore? It's technically a toxin.
For your creativity, yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm immediately sober.
Yeah, you're just like, all right, bitches, let's do this.
Yeah.
Anybody else have an instant, like, short reaction?
As soon as Sala taps me on the arm and lets me know that there's a problem, the lady's favor is in my hand.
Yeah.
I'm also putting Crimson Right on my rapier.
Good. Yeah. If there is, you don't have to necessarily tell me about everything you're doing, but if there's something you can do in 6 seconds, do it now. Consider it a prep round.
We get, like, one free action?
Sure.
Well, mine would be a reaction to this person popping up, so that's not really fair.
Okay. So,
in the commotion, can I give myself haste to, like, help, like, move people, help Chris, like...
Haste is an action, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you can start that. But
right,
as you're moving, at one point, you hear a voice from behind you that you have heard before.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a somewhat haughty, royal voice speak up and say, Noah Borago.
It's a woman, I'm assuming.
Yes, this is, you know, Titania's voice.
Yep. I will turn to face her.
You see her appeared behind you in, like, this circle that she's appeared in. The grass has started to overgrow and become ultra green around her. But you also see that standing just behind her right shoulder is Oberon, a titanic, dark-skinned Eladrin in... he has, like, bits of, like, fur pieces, and he's got, like, armor around his, like, thighs and waist, but he is pretty much bare-chested. And he has a, like, pointed crown with, like, points in the front, almost like horns on his head. Whereas Titania has on a swirling very delicate circlet of many different types of precious metals. And you can see that lit up on her face are these almost like war paint like stripes coming down. She looks incredibly like Veranestra, but also very different at the same time. Her eyes are pale gold. Her hair is a lighter blonde. She is taller, and she is just as beautiful, but in a different way, perhaps a more superficial way. But as she faces you, with a gorget, which is a piece of armor that's like around the neck and upper shoulders, a sort of crossed halter top, and then a skirt around her waist that you can see like armor on her legs underneath. She is facing you with a strange like glass orb in one hand, and she has an overlong wand in the other that, as you look at it, you can't quite tell if the wood is actually metal. It almost seems to shift back and forth, almost like it's iridescent, but between materials, not colors. And you can see it has a guard on it. It almost looks like a rapier wand. And as she regards you, and Oberon is standing behind her with this gigantic axe in his hands. Gigantic sword in his hands, like Cloud Strife levels of sword. She has her eyes trained solely on you, doesn't care about the chaos around you. And she says, Mr. Borago, the Sealy Court demands satisfaction. Will you answer?
Can I ask what you're calling about?
Which, by the way, by you, Christmas, Veranestra lets go of you and like steps back, sort of backing toward her parents. And you see Oberon.
I'm moving to go next to Noah too while she does that.
You see Oberon reach out a gigantic hand and lay it on Veranestra's shoulder as she comes to stand next to him. And Titania looks at Noah and she says, not long ago, as I'm sure you remember, you ended the life of a major archfey, the Prince of the Sealy Court, my son. And she looks around at the few people who are like stupid enough to stand here and watch. She says, murder when he was serving his mother and his court. What say you?
I kind of touch the gun at my side, just kind of resting a hand on it. Be like, I'd say you did a pretty poor job of raising your child, especially since you left him so easy to kill. It was merely an accident.
You see her take a moment to take a breath.
Yeah.
She's trying to preserve her queenliness.
Livid, yes.
Yes. And she looks to her side up to Oberon, who steps forward. And he says, Mr. Borago, this does not need to be a fight to the death. This doesn't need to end in anybody dying. We only ask that you pay back what you destroyed.
Your son killed one of ours first.
I say we're pretty even.
Your son also betrayed you.
Betrayed? You talking about working with the Fomorians?
I'm talking about working with Sav.
I don't know if any of you know this, but my son is the Prince of Trickery. His entire domain is tricking others into serving the court's needs.
I think is probably the better term to use. He ain't the prince of much anymore.
Tell me, if you don't want Noah's life, then what do you want from him?
And he looks back to Titania, and she nods. He says, service. In his place.
Okay, what does that entail?
You will do as the Sealy Court commands until you are released. At such time as you make up for the loss of Hearson.
Yeah, I'm not thinking I want to do that. Is there like a second option?
No.
Okay.
You have taken away one of the most powerful Archfey in the entire Feywild, one of the pillars of the Sealy Court. And he stops as he sees Christmas's hand go up.
Oh my god.
And you can see just the indignation. Honestly, more Titania than Oberon, but he turns and looks at Christmas and says, and you broke my daughter's heart. I'm not sure I want to hear from you, but in the spirit of fairness, please, Mr. Fortunemær, speak.
So you are telling me that your son worked with Sav and the Fomorians because the Sealy Court used him against them and knew what he was doing? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
And you see Oberon hesitate when you ask that.
I will follow up immediately after that by saying, because if that's the case, then what he did under your jurisdiction was commit an act of war against the Court of Reckoning. Now, would you rather say that your son is a traitor to your own court, or start a war against Morrigan?
The Court of Reckoning is a dead joke.
The Court of Reckoning begs to differ.
I'm sure they do. Here's where we stand. My son is dead. After doing everything in his power to serve the Sealy Court, known or unknown to us at the time. We will either have satisfaction in the form of Mr. Borago's death or his service. Now, one is much easier than the other.
Stop, Christmas.
I love torturing these people.
Speak.
What about our satisfaction for the death of Gwyn?
Who?
See, that's the problem with you folk here, is you think that everyone is so much less important than you are.
Was this a mortal that died?
Yes.
Then go get another one.
Go get another son.
Yeah,
You're already kicking half of your people out anyway that we were rescuing.
What is your answer, Mr. Borago?
My answer is that neither of you are worth my time.
Very well. And I need everybody to roll in. No, don't roll initiative because we're at 3:00.
Yeah.
We'll go do this next time.
Petty bitches. Jesus.
Yes.
I love that fairies are always so much more concerned with themselves than anybody else.
Yeah,
Also-
it's kind of a hallmark of the Fae.
No, I know.
The vague ass terms of until you're released.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's how fairies make deals to keep you forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
They just
kill a
need to
bunch
know.
of Fae.
They
God
just need
damn
to
it.
know Noah's true name at this point. So
I just feel like if Noah had agreed, their first thing would have been like, cool, kill Christmas.
Yeah. But keep in mind what you guys have ready. So Noah's hasted, Magda's got some stuff going, Christmas has glibness going, and then Foostrak has the hammer ready.
Yep.
So keep all that in mind. Yeah. I want to keep going so bad, but this is going to take hours. So
Yeah, it's going to take all of next session.
Yes, it will, or at least half of it. Our longer combats tend to take like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But we are playing next week, so that's good. Yes, I have some stat sheets to write up.
I'm so excited to die.
Huh. I am curious to see what happens with certain people. But anyway, we will pick this up on the 18th because we are streaming. We will not be streaming on the 25th because Ben going to Disneyland.
I am.
Disney World.
Disneyland.
Oh yeah, I'm going to
No.
Florida.
That's
Florida.
To
World.
Disney World.
That's World.
No, that's Disneyland.
No, it's
Disneyland.
World.
Disneyland's in California.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Xana went to Disneyland. Okay, my bad. Anyway, and then also next time we'll get to see, the stream will get to see all these lovely tokens that I have made. I will also be happy to show you guys what the full minis look like now because they're fun. I'm real happy with them. Let me grab my outro stuff.
God. Maybe
So
we'll make it to
excited.
Sav without the General of the Abyss coming to kill me too.
We'll see.
It's not the General of the Abyss, it's the Stone Warden. He only rules one lair.
Fair.
Anyway, yes. So thank you everybody for joining us. You can catch us on Twitch 11 a.m. Eastern Saturdays. As I said, we will be here next week, but not the week after. You can see our VODs and podcasts following Wednesdays on YouTube, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. Is there anything anybody wants to say that is important before next time?
Bart.
Final Fantasy VIII's a good game.
Oh my god.
Koop, if you would be so kind.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.